judges. Yes, sir. He's gone on to win nicely in the end. Coming for home now, and Deladidar has kicked again and gone on. Deladidar wins it. As they turn for the judge now, it's Bombay Pat with this 3-length cushion over Prince Nessim, who's run an absolute burster back in second. As they turn for home, it's Bocco's Diamond with a length and a half lead, and seizing out Bocco's Diamond just.
Well, you can see we are at a glorious Toaster racecourse once again, ready for the Star Sports and TRC English Greyhound Derby quarter-finals. It's a beautiful day for a fantastic night. We are gone to the Dogs Live. Welcome along. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday evening. I am Danny Jackson, of course, as always, and my co-pilot this evening is
Joe Keneally. Hello, Danny. Good evening, everybody. Here we go. When dreams become that little step closer to reality, there'll be one run away after tonight from the best week of their lives. Owners, connections, trainers, the Greyhounds themselves. Unbelievable. What a setting, Danny, as well. We're here now, we can see the track. It's just fantastic, it really is. So, yeah, let's get it underway.
Bring it on. Cannot wait to cover all of these races for you this evening. Now, the first of them is going to be the final heat of the GreyhoundTrader.com Stakes. We will be showing you the first 3 heats throughout the show, so you're not going to miss anything here at Toaster. Then we've got the 4 heats of the Priced Up Bet Derby Plate. Of course, those greyhounds that have been knocked out in the first 3 rounds have had a chance to enter these 4 heats. And then we get to the biggies, the 4 quarterfinals of the English Greyhound Derby of 2025, and we round off with the Irish Derby champ at 9:15. So very, very excited. There's quite a few people saying on the live chat on YouTube that they are laying Bocco's Diamond just because they might think there's a little bit of trouble in the race. I mean, you're not going with him either with your Keneally's Crackers, Joe.
No, we're going with the Keneally Hail Mary in the 9:15 Keyfield Maverick. The nap goes in the first race here for us, Danny. Flashing Fender in the last seat of the Ground Traders Stakes. The next best, Romeo Tomcat, thought was extremely well drawn in 3, was desperate in the Derby last week, and then plenty of there through there. Cheap Sandwiches, Churchfield sit at a price against Deladidar, your nap, that we're going to see in a minute. Faith Point Harvey and Keyfield Maverick. Look, if Bocco's Diamond comes away and traps, he'll win.
Yep.
But he has got to worry about Slick Centre on his outside, who will come away, and if he does, he'll come across him. I just thought the way Keyfield Maverick was running, with so much credit in defeat, he might just be able to sneak off the front here.
Yeah, it's going to be a trappy race at 9:15, that is for sure. Now, these are the naps for this evening's action. We've got Flashing Fender for Joe in the 6:51. The first race we're showing in just less than 10 minutes. Jason, who's roaming around the grounds with Val Tashadelic. Hobbsy, who is the MC tonight at Toaster. He's going with Cheap Sandwiches. I'm with Deladidar, along with Ashley Williams, who is our social media guru, so all the stuff on socials is from him. And Daryl is back in the building as our commentator this evening, and with Dynamic Force. Right, we are going to give you now something exclusive here at Gone to the Dogs with our drone footage. It is a dog's eye view of what happens out of the boxes. Phenomenal. I mean, it's 58 seconds long, this, and it just goes
that was me
to show.
doing the lap.
Oh, in your dreams. In your dreams. So the actual footage was 58 seconds. Well, this is on fast forward. So this is about how quick they would be racing, because it's 29 seconds long. And you just don't appreciate how long those straights are.
They stuck the camera on my head and just went, Joe, go for it. And that was what we got. 58 seconds of action. That made Jackie, of course. It's brilliant. You know, we haven't seen that before, so don't look at me like that. But, yeah, look. We're trying new things on this show.
We do.
And that's just as good as it gets. You know, the footage we've got of the lakes on the outside, and then seeing that then was just fantastic. So that is exactly what they get to see when they're coming away. You understand what dogs do, Mr. Bray. They're not robots.
Yeah.
It looks quite tricky.
It does. It looks a lot harder than you think, doesn't it? So, yeah, that was a dog's eye view, and it is up on X at the moment as well. Now, I did tell you that Daryl is with us this evening. Daryl, how are you doing?
I'm brilliant, Danny. Yes, loving that footage. That's one of the best things I've seen all year. Longer than that, forever, let's say. It's fantastic. It's just a real Greyhound eye view of what goes on when they leave the boxes. So hopefully that's got you in the mood. Let's have a look, though, at the lineup for this fourth heat. As Danny mentioned, we're going to show you the 3 early heats. We won't spoil it. You may have seen the results, you may have watched them elsewhere, but I'll keep quiet. I'll give nothing away other than here are the prices for heat number 4. It's the greyhoundtrader.com stakes. Obviously, dogs purchased via Greyhound Trader. So Radical Scobie, who was third in the golden jacket actually for Maxine Locke, Trap 1 at 3. Stormaker Quick runs in 2. For Jason Gray, that's 13 to 8. 3 is Milton Era, who's on debut. The bits for Samantha Lappage. Race Night Ivan in Trap 4 is a 12 to 1 chance for Alison Kelly Pilgrim. We know Joe is all over Flashing Fender. A nice early nap from Joe, but look at the dogs that he's been up against in the first 3 rounds of the Derby. And Notes in Your Pocket for Anne Kirby is a big price on the outside at 18 to 1.
So we've got a cracking fourth heat of the greyhoundtrader.com stakes, and there are of course entry requirements for this race, isn't there? All this competition, you've got to have been bought by Greyhound or through Greyhound Trader. Yeah,
it's a great competition. We've had it now for a few years, and Gary Diab was the winner last year. He's made himself into the semi-final. My nappy's running now. There's been loads of money for Flashing Fender. He was around 5 to 2, 11 to 4 this morning. He's now into 6 to 4, and he's a very, very fast dog. He hasn't been able to quite do it so far because he's been in with the likes of Droopy's Trade, Droopy's Buckham, and then he's been in with Solar Mio as well. So look, it's no surprise to see that he's been struggling against them. But to make the 3rd round of the Derby, you know, behind Droopy's Trade, he tried to go with him, just found trouble going out the second bend when trying to make a run. It does stretch him. I'm just hoping he can get clear, and if he does get clear, I think he'll hold on. I mean, he is still a maiden, but like you say, he's been in against the very, very best, so it's no surprise really to see him kind of short enough at 11 to 8 here. Toolmaker Quick at 13 to 8. I was quite taken by Milton Ariel because she could be absolutely anything. She's won every trial pretty much hands down, and I'm quite excited about her, to be fair, as long as it's not overwhelming on her first experience. Of course, we've got quite a big crowd here at Toaster, and you know that can be slightly overwhelming. We see some of the Greyhound Derby dogs, they don't actually parade because they don't like the crowd, so it can be slightly overwhelming for puppies. But I think if she gets out, she could potentially surprise. I've put her in the competitions because I need all the Hail Marys I can get. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you absolutely do. If she wins and everything wins, then you'll still be relegation zone, to be fair. So, yeah, the less we talk about that, the better. But yeah, the nap for me, Flashing Fender, more money now, 11 to 8. He opened 2 to 1, he after 15 to 8, he into 11 to 8. Was 11 to 4 earlier, that price is gone. Would I want to be on at 11 to 8? No. Okay. You want it to be on around 11 to 4, 5 to 2. You're happy with anything at 2 to 1 or above. So that's not there now. Also, he's in my Yankee for the competitions at 14 to 1. 365 went up early, 20 to 1, lasted a couple of hours. I looked a little bit later on, that price was gone. Wow. Into 12 to 1. He drifted back out to 14. So, yeah, good price for the competition each way as well. So they are just about to come out on parade for the action here at Toaster. Welcome along to Gone to the Dogs Live. If you have just joined us, if it's your first time, welcome along. If you've been with us since the start, thank you very much for your support. And if you are not yet a subscriber, please do hit that button. This is Radical Scobie, has ran well in all rounds of the Golden Jacket, but hasn't had a win over here yet. He has got 3 wins over in Ireland, though, for Maxine Locke and the JR Racing Syndicate. 3 to 1 currently for Trap 1. Trap 2 is Toolmaker Quick, the Northern Puppy Derby semi-finalist. He just seems to find trouble everywhere he goes for Robin Hood Racing and Jason Gray, but he is 2 from 5. Here's the youngster, one of them, Milton Ariel. She's a debutant, won every trial, could be anything for Samantha Lappage and the Milton Racing Club. Daughter of Glengar Bale, out of Glengar Ariel, September 23, so only a youngster. Chat 4, Race Night Ivan, wag his tail on parade. He's a slight trouble magnet. He improved on the trial time, but he was outclassed, of course, in his first round heat.
and he was brought down recently at Romford, so he's had a solo trial since, and he looks back on song to me. Trap 5, Flashing Fender at 11-8, still a maiden after 8. It was a very messy race last week behind Droopy's Trade for him, and hoping to get some compensation this evening. Fully focused on the job there. And Trap 6, Notes in Your Pocket, solid grader / minor open dog. He's got plenty of local knowledge, which sometimes could be key at Toaster, especially because some of the wide seeds do run off at the bend, don't they, when they see it for the first time. So the fact that he has had plenty of experience here, his stroke rate is great, 18 from 55. Now, I did mention as well that we have got Jason Beresford roaming around. Jason, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Danny, and I can actually see you just through a little crack there. Now, we haven't got I've got Steve Flew in here. We've got lots of bubblies, 3 tables of bubblies. You've got Bubbly Charger going later.
They're all bubbling. I'm unfortunately on a table of boys, so it could get ugly as the night goes on. We just hope it's the last race of the night, so we can enjoy ourselves, all the through the night, and then hope
2 minutes. Grounds are approaching.
Hope we get in the first 3 and make it into the semis next week.
Steve, I'd be more worried if they got prettier as the night went on.
Not possible. Ugly is the word.
I did read a quote there. You're happy with the draw from a qualifying point of view tonight.
It was interesting. A lot of people have speculated as the week's gone on, was Trap 1 a good draw, bad draw, etc. We can't change it anyway, but usually I've always said if you're a railer, get Trap 1, you've got a little bit of chance squeezing around the inside and qualifying.
Steve, thank you very much. You're a very special man, but there's one more special bubbly. I've got to do this. I've got to get a kiss off my favourite bubbly girl. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss.
It's a shame we couldn't see that.
That was fabulous. I mean, Jason is just top class out there.
Jason is crackers.
Right, we are ready to rock and roll for our first live race here on Gone to the Dogs Live, and we can head back to Darryl.
Thank you very much. That's going to remain a secret, isn't it, forever, I think. Who got the kiss from Jason? Send your entries in, I guess, on a postcard. 11-8 Flashing Fender, all over this, Joe, of course. His nap selection. Derby, 3rd round elimination last week. Toolmaker Quick, 2nd in for Jason Gray. 13-8. Bunnies on the spin. 3 to qualify. We will show you the 3 earlier heats a little bit later on, but they approach for the Greyhound Trader Stakes. Heat number 4, here's the Bunny. They race away, nice pace up. Flashing Fender's going to go to the front on the run to the bend. Notes in Your Pocket on the outside. They're all getting in each other's way on the inside. Race 9 Ivan's been dropped to the rear of the field, and suddenly the favourite Flashing Fender by 3 down the far side. Notes in Your Pocket, then Radical Scoby back in 3rd place. Toolmaker Quick in behind those. They race towards home. Flashing Fender still by 3 lengths. Radical Scoby is running on. The Golden Jacket finalist off the bend. Flashing Fender only by a length. Radical Scoby up on the inside. Flashing Fender. Oh, has he held on? It got very tight, very tight. Flashing Fender, Radical Scoby. We'll have to wait for the judge. I wonder if 5's just done enough, though.
My word, that was tight. 5-1, 1-5. Radical Scoby, I mean, he was in the Golden Jacket over 6.84, was holding his own there. Flashing Fender, all out from the off, has managed to blitz them into the first bend here, Joe, but has he held on?
I just watched one turn in and I went, oh no. I just turned around and watched it live, and here we go. The result is coming.
Has called the winner of race 4 as first, Trap 5.
Yes, the nap has landed. Trap 5.
That's it,
Flashing
mic drop.
Fender. Right, I'm out of here. Thank you. Going to enjoy the night. But I thought I was in big trouble here, Danny.
I did as well.
I must say, when he's Radical Scoby's turned in that position, even when he turned 3rd and he was 6 lengths behind, he's done extremely well to hold him off.
Yeah.
He really has, because it's a bit of a stretch, and look at this view. This is just absolutely out of this world. It really is. And you see all the trouble on the run to the first bend, 1, 2, 3 and 4. He had a draw to die for, Flashing Fender. I'm glad he's managed to do that. He's shown so much pace in the derby against the top elite animals. He's given himself a chance here to get off the front. He's done that. Here, I thought, all the writings on the wall, we're in big trouble. The minute that Radical Scoby got inside Notes in Your Pocket, we're in trouble. Just thought, where's that line? Where's that line? Just get to the line, please. Managed to do so, just held on in the end. A cracking finish, and what a way to start the night.
It's funny as well, because quite a few people have gone for 5 and 6 forecasts because they thought that the railers could get into a little bit of bother, and we can see here on the head-on, you know, the puppy in 3, she's come out slightly on her belly, but
to be fair, for a lot of the run to the bend, haven't they? Then it's just when we got to the bend, but we have said that, Danny, they seem to edge into the bend here before the bend. The bend starts quite early. So you see the dogs on the inside, they seem to just get into the bend very early here. That's allowed them, Flashing Fender, to clear the rest and go on. and lead a long, long way. Once noticing your pocket was turned beyond, that was never going to catch him. It was then what Radical Scobie done. Turning in a great position, cracking way to finish. What a race.
What a race, and good shout to John who put the 5-1 forecast in, so well done. I am watching the live chat, so do keep comments that aren't fantastic to a minimum, please. We do have a delete button though. We have got plenty of races coming up on the show. The Derby Plate, of course, will be our next 4 races, and we will have the quarterfinals of the Greyhound Derby to round off the card. So fabulous scenes here at Toaster. Love the fact that we've got the drone back in play, and there he is, happy little boy, flashing fender. He's got off the mark.
He is delighted for Craig, delighted for the connections. Great performance from him, and just like we said, Dan, he deserved it. He deserved that win after what he's been in with. 29.08 the winning time. It's a little bit nervy there on parade, but he's okay. He's going to go on to the podium now. He'll get a drink now. It's a very hot evening here. There is water there provided for the greyhounds as they come off, so there will be water there for him, and people will be delighted. What a performance.
It was a fabulous performance, and Jim Tate's getting everybody to cheer on the podium. I think we've got Emily Wallace down near the podium as well. I think Hobbsy's just doing his little bit of MC in here at the track, so you might be able to hear him a little bit, but we won't be seeing him. He'll be like a spectre of the show this evening, Will Hobbsy.
Jason gets him later on, or Emily.
Most likely.
You've seen him there.
Kim Sanzone, of course, doing the draw shortly as well. Billy Brennan, who is key on social media for Toaster Racecourse, and he was doing all the social media stuff for Star Sports as well, I think. And I think we can now bid a good evening to Emily Wallace. Emily, welcome back.
Thank you, Danny. That's good evening to you and Joe. Really looking forward tonight, and that was a great winner of our Greyhound Trader Stakes Heat 4. Unfortunately, Craig's in the next race, so he's had to rush off, but we're joined by the owner, Alan Wright, and that was very impressive, wasn't it? Off the front and got a bit sketchy towards the end, but he did enough to win.
Yeah, I think once he got out, that was it, really. I was a bit worried about the one, because we knew the one would come after him, but he's not, the 3 rounds he's had in the Derby, he's never really showed, he's been boxed in, couldn't get out, and I think he showed today he's got the pace, but I don't think he stays the 500, but he certainly got the pace, so.
Exactly, and he did run so well in the Derby, so when they do that, it's nice to see them win their next race impressively around Toaster, isn't it?
That's right, yeah, and bearing in mind, you know, he's in August 23, he's only had, this is his 4th race in this country, so, you know, that's just fingers crossed going forward with him, really.
And there could be more to come, of course. Like you say, it's only his 4th race.
That's right, yeah. So, you know, Craig's got him, you know, brilliant trainer, so hopefully he'll bring him on.
Lovely. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Of Flashing Fender, 29.08 the winning time. At 11-8 favourite, beat Trap 1 Radical Scobie at 3-1, and Trap 2 Toolmaker Quick was 3rd and is through to next week.
It's lovely to meet you, and I know next week we're doing this once again. And
Bet Clever, Bet Goodwin, proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs.
Bet Goodwin, Bet Goodwin, Bet Goodwin.
Now, we did have the first 3 heats of the GreyhoundTrader.com stakes earlier on, and Daryl is going to talk you through them. Daryl, what happened?
Well, we had certainly one surprise along the way without giving too much away. This was heat number 1, Danny, though. Hard Done Boy sent off even money favourites, been in such great form around Swindon. Second in was Race Night Mikey on the outside at 2-1, and Droop is Rosie, Trap 1, also for Maxine Lock, as was the 6 at 3-1. Big prices, everything else. So let's show you heat number 1 as they broke away from the boxes, and as they did so, Beat His Razzle got away best with Droop is Rosie 1 on the inside. Race Night Mikey now just beginning to pick up on the outside, getting a bit closer as they run down the far side. So Beat His Razzle for Kim Billingham Hine by no more than 3 parts. Race Night Mikey on the outside for Maxine, and these have gone away from Hard Done By. Trying to get going, Trap 3, got to get by Bluebird first of all though, looking for qualification only here. Hard Done Boy off the final bend. Race Night Mike is going to go storming into the second run in fine style. Beat His Razzle second, and Hard Done Boy is in the hat for the second round of the semi-finals, back in 3rd. So Race Night Mikey won it here for Maxine Lock, and lot 26 went off a 13-8 chance there. 28.99 beats Beat His Razzle, a big price qualifier in second. Hard Done Boy in the hat for next week as well. So we moved on to heat number 2, where the market was dominated by the 2 dogs in the middle. Gary the Arb, who won this last year 6-4, Rapido Ali at 13-8. Uncle Freddie was a 5-2 chance in trap 5. Big prices the rest. Here came to the traps for heat number 2, then of the GreyhoundTrader.com stakes. And they raced away with Rapido Ali away best. Ballymacoden on the inside is pacing up nicely. Trap 1 all swinging off badly into the bend. And trap 5 has been tumbled over. Uncle Freddie, Epic Rebel, has pretty much put out the race as well. They ran down the far side. Ballymacoden for Chris Faraday. Sent off at a big price. Leads by 3 lengths. Gary the Arb, the defending champ, is up in a second. Will qualify. But can Gary the Arb catch Ballymacoden off the final bend? He's getting closer, but down the straight. Ballymacoden still ahead from Gary the Arb. And he's going to stay in front here. Ballymacoden, a monster price from Gary the Arb in second. And Easy Texas crossing the line back in third. Now, you know, through the Derby, we haven't had many shocks. 3 dogs have won at 6-1 in the Derby, nothing bigger. 22-1 winner. You won't be surprised to hear 29.34 the winning time, that nobody has tipped that in the GWA media competition, not even Ian Fortune. Let's have a look at heat number 3, where the interest here in the market was to the inside, with the 3 market leaders drawn in 1, 2 and 3. Too Much Chat 15-8. Zenith Quincy for Richard Rees at 5-2. Uncle Freddie, we understand, was fine after that tumble. And then Ginger's Rubin at 3-1, and big prices all of the others. Here came to the traps then for the third heat. All the action to the inside in the market. Rogue Duo got away best trap 4. Ginger's Rubin on the inside, but pace from Zenith Quincy, who's going to angle round on the inside then for Richard Rees as they go down the far side. Shares it with Rogue Duo. There are a couple clear of Too Much Chat on the inside then of Ginger's Rubin, trap 3. Long way back to the other pair, and Zenith Quincy is beginning to kick on the turbo here off the final bend. Leads by about 3 or 4 lengths from Rogue Duo in second place, running on Ginger's Rubin down the outside. Then Too Much Chat. Zenith Quincy making up for that fall of Uncle Freddie, the kennel mate, earlier on. Wins well in the end, beats Ginger's Rubin, and Too Much Chat has got up for third for Kevin Boone. So the inside 3 dogs qualify. The winning time here, it would be the fastest in the competition. 28.82, 5-2 the winner, and 7-2 the second.
A cracking run from Zenith Quincy to do the fastest of the night so far. Right, we're going to head back to Jason and see who he's caught up with this time.
Now, I'm very pleased to say I'm joined by the one and only Peter Harnden. Hello, Peter.
How are you going? Good to see you.
Very, very good to see you as well. Now, you've got a couple going tonight. Salakers Sennen, who I don't think everyone realises the story behind him.
No, he done the fastest time of the first round last year. And then the next round he got knocked out, and he went back to Ireland and broke his hock, and broke his wrist, should I say. So I actually bought the dog. I spoke to one of the poles. I knew what Liam really, last year he said this is his best dog. He rated him so highly, and so I bought him with a broken wrist and spent the whole year getting him back. And the whole sole purpose was trying to run him in the Derby. So, you know, he done that run the other week with had a broken wrist, so it's like phenomenal dog.
I mean, it's a testament to you and your team that you know, had the care and the attention to bring him back and get him back to how he was.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, it just shows you what quality the dog was. And it just was in my mind when Liam said last year, the fastest dog I've got is Ballymac Sennen. So I knew if he said that and then Lydell went to 1, I knew how highly he rated the dog.
Mind you must have been disappointed. It was a very easy heat last week. Bocco's Diamond, cheap sandwiches.
Do you know what? It's the worst sectional he's done as well. And I kept saying to him, come on, just hit him tonight, just hit him. And I'd actually bet him for the overall sectional market. And I thought, trap 3, that's his trap he wants. I thought he'll hit him, and he just didn't hit him. And he just failed half length to get round in front. So, one of them things.
I think we'll go favourite tonight in Heat 1 of the Derby Plate, trap 3. Fancy him?
Yeah, I mean, the 2 dogs are a good little dog. Liam sold that dog as well, Ballymac Blanco. So, you know, and Liam said today he's a good little dog. He's been off a while, so he's got to do his job properly to get out in front. So, I think he'll be a nice Oxford and Pall Mall sort of dog. I think it'd be good for that. And
Salakers Tipster you've got going in Heat 4 of the Plate. One Derby final like last year?
Yeah, probably last year was his year. Like his stuff, he's a good provincial type of dog. I mean, he's just getting on over the top a little bit now. So if he qualifies, I'll be happy. But Sennen's my main one.
First round, though, he gave you a run for your money from the front.
Oh, he can if he gets round in front. I mean, he just lost his way a little bit, and we put him in a little A2. I was pleased with the race managers gave us a bit of a win there, and it just going back on form. And then the first round, he run really well. So no, pleased.
press record at home. Peter just said, pleased with the racing manager. I've never heard that before.
Don't get it very often here.
Pete, you're a star. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Brilliant,
Cheers, buddy.
Thank you.
Now, Star Sports are sponsoring the show this evening, and this is their offer. Split second. Get 50% of your stake back as a free bet if your Greyhound finishes second in any Star Sports Greyhound Derby heat. So, of course, they are a little bit later on. But get 50% of your stake back as a free bet if your Greyhound finishes second. Our thanks to Star Sports and our other sponsor as well, Bet Goodwin, who have put the show on the road for the last, well, this is the 4th week now. I can't quite believe that we've been here 4 weeks in a row.
With the reggae music to the advert that we love, the old Bet Goodwin.
We do love that one. We do. That is cracking. Now there is the scene at Toaster. I tell you what, it's busy. I was out just watching the first couple of races before we had to do all the sound checks and what have you. And it's busy. There's kids here. There's plenty of people with, you know, the Ladies' Day vibes. So we're doing well.
There was a load of lads having a sing-song here about being to the dogs all dressed up and suited up, which is brilliant. Yeah, loads here. Look, it's a Saturday night. The sun's out. It's 25 degrees.
Sun's out, guns out.
You've got the quarterfinal of the Derby. No reason not to come racing.
And we have got the Derby Plate Heat 1, sponsored by PricedUp.bet. Down the card, 5-2 Hope Sumpa-Lumpa, Ballymac Blanco 3, Salakers Sen an 11-8 favourite, 9-1 Righty in 4, Clonard Dash 14-1 in 5, and Back to Black is 8-1 in Trap 6. So they're about to come out on parade for our first Derby Plate Heat. Not sure where Trap 1 is, but there is Trap 2.
Go through this, Daniel.
Who is Ballymac Blanco, was off for a while before the heats, but acquitted himself well. Did disappoint slightly last week at short odds, though, in a minor open, and hopefully back on track. He's an absolute stunner. Beautiful. Trap 1 was Hope Sumpa-Lumpa, who loves it here. Is 3 from 8 and had to ride a crowd in all of the Derby runs. There's Trap 3, Salakers Sen, we've just heard from Peter Harnden, the trainer. Reached the second round last year, third round this year, and was just crowded behind Bocco's Diamond last week, so was unlucky not to qualify in 4th. There's Righty, fell out the boxes last week and just never got on terms really behind Slick Sentinel. May give them a lead here, but does finish like an absolute train. Trap 5 is at 14-1, was a surprise winner on Judgment Night at 25-1, and a recent 4th in a Cat 3 comp at Newcastle, was behind Velvet Black when bumped on the first bend, but he does know how to win. And Trap 6 is Back to Black, has won over 5-7-5, and he will be staying on. He got back to winning ways when avoiding trouble in an A1 last week over at Yarmouth.
Quick one, Paddy Power, £50, up to £50. They've gone even money, Bocco's Diamond. In the last heat. So Paddy Power, even money, Bocco's Diamond in the last heat, up to 50 quid.
Okay.
As we look at Hope Sumpa-Lumpa in the Greyhound Derby, and this was a good performance from Hope Sumpa-Lumpa on the 17th of May in the second round, behind Single on Molly. There was loads of trouble in the race. Single on Molly then hit the front there, just found and managed to qualify there in Trap 2, was Hope Sumpa-Lumpa. So look, Esther would have been disappointed to get knocked out of the Derby last week. Still got no better feeling in there, of course. This would be a nice consolation for Hope Sumpa-Lumpa to go on. And I'm with Hope Sumpa-Lumpa in 1.
Right, let's go to Jason.
This is a happy little throng I'm with here. I'm with Tracy.
Hello, hi.
Charlie. my new friend.
Hello.
Hello, and a lady who said, do not stick that microphone anywhere near me. Sorry, here we have...
We've got Charlie and Penny here.
Charlie, very quickly, Home Run Hounds, you do brilliant stuff. You're raising money. Tell us a little bit.
We're helping Greyhound Racing UK with helping to raise money through their raffle today. As a charity, we home greyhounds that have been racing, and we cover the West Midlands and also across the country.
Well, you do brilliant work. They're absolutely adorable. Even Moody over there. So if you see them, help them out. They do wonderful work. Home Run Hounds.
Home Run Hounds Greyhound charity. Yes, thank you very much.
They never stop, Home Run Hounds.
Nor does
Never,
he.
ever stop. No. No, he's been running around since about 4 o'clock this afternoon because he was on the preview show with us, and then I saw him talking to all sorts of people to try and tee him up to get them interviewed for the show. So, yeah, Jason, one of the busiest men in greyhound racing, and, well, just a joy to have around, to be quite frank. Right, we're about to go behind the boxes. 2 is definitely up for this. Ballymac Blanco. Look at how stunning he is. And look
Beautiful,
at 5. Clonard Dash. He's... yeah, a few On their toes, I think they would say, for this race.
There are. I'm with Hopes and Palumpa on the inside. Seleucus Sennen should lead. If he leads and Hopes and Palumpa can turn in the pitch behind Seleucus Sennen, I think he'd have too much for him late on. So Ballymat Blanco, he can cause Seleucus Sennen enough problems early on. That should suit the stunning blue on the inside to get a clear, and if he does, I think he'll win.
Darryl, what do you think?
Well, I like Seleucus Sennen, Danny, to be honest here. I thought we had a good chance of going to the front. He's on a bit of a losing run. However, he's run well in the Derby, hasn't he? Not beaten far behind March on Freddie in that hot heat with Bocco's Diamond last week. Peter Harnden's charge is being well back, the favourite in the white box. They are on their way for the priced up bet Derby Plate Heat number 1. 13 railers, 7 wides, 4 middles, 4 Irish dogs, but none in this particular heat as the hare approaches. And we race away, and Hopes on Palumpa got away best. Seleucus Sennen, though, will challenge into the first corner from Ballymat Blanco, and they've opened up a little bit of a gap then on Righty, who was well placed, the strong running third in this race last year, trap 4, now moving through the field, but it's Seleucus Sennen by about 4 lengths down towards home. Hopes on Palumpa in second, Righty's back in third, then Ballymat Blanco, they go to the last 10, Seleucus Sennen still by a length and a half, Hopes on Palumpa trying to make a race of it, Seleucus Sennen, Hopes on Palumpa's getting up on the far side, Hopes on Palumpa goes on, Seleucus Sennen in second, Righty back in third, also qualifies.
Cracking run from Hopes and Palumpa to beat Seleucus Sennen, the long-time leader, and Righty was back in third place.
He's just a brilliant ground, isn't he? Just qualifies and continues to, you know, probably amaze John in what he does, and he just qualifies and gets through and gets through. And yeah, this is all about Hopes and Palumpa, though. We've kind of read that quite well. He's Seleucus Sennen, we knew would take him along. He's come away really well, Hopes and Palumpa. And what he's done, he's just out-trapped Seleucus Sennen. And what he's done to him out of the boxes, 28.86, really good run from off the pace. But what he's come away, Danny, in front of Seleucus Sennen is what he's beat him.
Yeah.
So he can come away a little bit better, Seleucus Sennen. He's trapped, of course he has, but he's really come away running. Hopes on Palumpa, held his pitch into the bend. It was always going to be raced on. He's getting stronger and stronger for each run, Seleucus Sennen.
Yeah.
So Peter will be delighted with what he's done there. But a cracking performance from Hopes on Palumpa. He's run really, really well. And look how far right he's been beat in the end as well. 2 lengths.
He's
awesome
a phenomenal
performance. He really is.
Really phenomenal. You know, you look, they've trapped on terms, but Seleucus Sennen just has that burst of early pace into the first round and into the first bend. And I'm just looking who he's been in with behind Tiffield Tark with March on Freddie and Bocco's Diamond. I mean, he couldn't get too much harder than that, really.
And you can see why Peter did back him for the sectional, because when he gets it right, his sectional will be interesting to see what he's done tonight. But when he gets it right, he's very, very fast to the bend. And, you know, he had a bad injury and Peter then took a chance and took him in, and he's done a brilliant job getting him back to fitness, and he's getting stronger and stronger. You wouldn't be put off by that performance there. Here's the head on, the run to the bend. When you've got that early, Danny, as we always say, you can kind of dictate where you want to go. He's probably took Righty's line, but he's 3 lengths clear of him, 4 lengths clear of him. So, you know, that hasn't really come into play. And they've all kept a straight line there, to be fair. So a cracking race, really cracking race.
Didn't see the trouble with Clona Dash, to be fair, at the back
Coming
end.
in that bend again.
Yeah.
So early, they come into this bend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stunning. Like, you can see all the people are enjoying the sunshine as well. And
we're not. It's red hot in here.
Honestly, he's got a roll of blue roll that'll be.
It's absolutely beaming through the sun here. I can't wait till it goes down.
I'll show you the picture of the pile of blue roll discarded after the show. But stunning, stunning scenes at Toaster. It is an absolute privilege to be here this evening, and it has been, you know, throughout the competition. Can't wait to the Derby final night. I mean,
2 weeks today.
If you're not coming, obviously we will be on YouTube like we are right now. But if you are available on the 14th of June, the action starts at 5:44 with the dogs, but it starts at 10 a.m. in the morning if you really want to have a full day of kind of a festival vibes. We've got loads of street food, loads of entertainment, bands all the way through the day. We've even got an ABBA tribute. I mean, you just can't get better than
One of the best as well.
Yeah.
One of the best, Bjorn again.
Bjorn again.
Yeah, one of the very best. Esther's delighted, bless her as well, and rightly so. You know, rightly so. He's done this kennel really, really proud. They can be extremely proud of what he's done. He's a fast dog. He goes under the radar.
Yeah.
But he's a very, very fast ground. His form does stand up.
And we've got no better feeling in the quarterfinals later on. I mean, she's got 2 greyhounds tonight. Obviously, one's gone in. The other one, who knows? In tough
Big
company.
price,
but I think he's been acquitting himself well so far. So there's quite a few people. Lenny's Desire is a good thing in the next race. Hope Righty runs well. He did, Don.
He did.
I'm not backing the favourites tonight for sure.
Ooh.
So, yeah, interesting. There's been a couple of shocks already. Well, one massive shock. The rest have been quite what you'd expect, I guess, or one of the or more towards the top of the market. So we'll see how it all plays out. Billy Brennan, he's just made the move up north. So I'm wondering what he's finding life like in York as we go back to Emily.
Lovely. Thank you, Danny. Celebrations on the podium, although this isn't Hopes and Palumpa, as he is slightly nervous. But we're going to have a chat with Paul Salas. Of course, we are heavily involved in the kennel, as well as you own this one as well. So very pleasing performance.
Yeah, he ran really well. You know, he gave the free dog a bit of a start, but reeled it in the end. So yeah, it was his best time he's done round here as well. So really pleased. And
we of course understand that you haven't been too well recently, but things are looking up.
Yeah, recently I had a heart bypass, triple. So yeah, you know, I've been away for a bit. But yeah, it's all done now. So recovering. I'm still here.
First time back to Toaster since, and that's a good way to start the night.
Absolutely, yeah, it was lovely. Absolutely.
And of course, you have no better feeling. The kennel has no better feeling running later as well in the quarterfinals of the Greyhound Derby. Are you hopeful?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, he's in there. I'm hoping for a good start from him. I think he'll lead the one, grab the rail. He's been improving every round, so you can ask. And if we have a bit of luck, you know, you never know. You know, I think he's 50 to 1 to win the race, but he's probably 10 to 1 to come third or something. You know, so we're hopeful. The dog's well, so we can ask, you know, so if it goes our way, then great.
And of course, involved in a quarterfinal is a great feat. Only 24 dogs left. Is there excitement going around the kennel?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's been buzzing. Yeah, it's been really good. You know, it's obviously a dream competition for everybody. You know, and as you say, there's probably 190 dogs or something to start off, and to be in the last 24 is great. You know, that's an achievement in itself. So. Yeah, you know, good.
I understand you're a Chelsea fan as well, so with that, Hopes and Palumpa, no better feeling, would really top it off if he could qualify.
Yeah, it's been a good week so far. So yeah, Chelsea finally got it over the line, but yeah, it was good. The second half was good anyway. The first half wasn't, but second half was good.
Good result, that's the main thing. Thank you very much, Paul.
Thank you very much.
Great to see Paul back at Toaster this evening, and Hopes and Palumpa winning for him, 28.86. One of the faster times of the night so far. 5-2 has beaten Saleka Sen and 6-5 favourite, and righty through to the next round of the Derby Plate in third at 10-1.
Bet Good Win. Proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs.
Bet good win, bet good win, bet good win.
And away they go, an electric pace there from Curry Hills Gara, showing early from Hit the Lid in second. After these comes Stoop Whisper, Gino make history, and Comrade Boy, who are all involved in some crowding and bumping at that first bend, but it's Curry Hills Gara being taken on by Hit the Lid on the outside. Hit the Lid forges on now, half a length clear from Curry Hills Gara. Stoop Whisper staying on, then comes Make History as they go around the final bend, and Hit the Lid's gone 3 lengths clear now from Curry Hills Gara. Stoop Whisper moving into a clear second, but Hit the Lid's won this one by a couple of lengths. Hit the Lid, the winner of this year's Derby, from Stoop Whisper back in second. Curry Hills Gara held on for third, and I think it was just Make History who may have got fourth, Gino fifth, and Comrade Boy the back marker, but Hit the Lid got on terms nice and early there with Curry Hills Gara, and then went away to win very well indeed.
Do you remember that?
No, I do not. It was the year I was born, but probably in the few months prior to the month I was born. So yeah, great to see what happened in 1988, to be fair. Hit the Lid, great name for a greyhound as well, so perfect.
But you've got to do what he done.
Yeah.
And come away, because if you don't, you look rather silly.
But great to see that we've got the archive footage as well from all those years ago. Makes me feel very old, I have to say.
Many thanks to Dave.
Yes, Dave Lawrence and Clive, his brother, who ran Race and Post-Ground TV for so long, and Sky Sports and all that jazz. So they've got the archive channel.
Ground Racing Archive on YouTube, fantastic. I watched the whole 2012 Derby final show back. last week. Just getting ready, and you know, let's see, little Emily Wallace on there. She was interviewed on there, little Emily, from where Julie interviewed Emily and Dan. Dan is still the same, 13 years later. Dan Wallace, he hasn't changed one bit. He's just the same voice, everything. So, but Emily has changed. It was all one-word answers then, and she's doing absolutely fantastic. She really is. And watch her documentary on YouTube as well.
It's brilliant. Really good. Yeah, so look at that on X. It'll be on her page anyway. Right, we're going to go back to Jason.
1 week. I leave them for 1 week and you go and turn a profit.
You weren't here, Jay, swear that was it. And no one spoke to me last week, so maybe you speaking to me as a bad omen before the race. I should send you away ready before we even get started. Yeah, we had a fair night. There was a few bob about here. For more than once, you can lay more than one dog in a race. So we actually got the dogs beat that we wanted to get beat last week. Let's see if we can do the same thing tonight.
I was watching at home and I saw you, I could tell you were winning, and it was like Doctor Who when I was younger. I was hiding behind the sofa.
Not that scary, Jonathan. I even call Jonathan. Not that scary, Jason. Surely, can I try and exterminate the punters tonight? No, that's uncalled for. They're cheering over what's happening over there. There we go. Yeah, we'll see what we can do tonight.
Now, obviously, we've got the quarterfinals, but there's new comps starting. So is it almost back to like the first round again in some way?
A little bit, yeah. The two comps are pretty interesting, the plate and the trader comp as well. So plenty of open races, and they're a bit more than what they are in the Derby quarters. Although, you know, come the Derby quarters, I think Delardi Dar will win, but the other three favourites, I think, are all, well, I say vulnerable, but they're all worth taking on, I think, tonight. You can definitely get excuse to try and get all three of them beat. So I think we'll go out with that mindset, certainly.
Excellent. And can you just give us one for the punters who they should be on?
I've bet Romeo Empire, put him up during the week. I thought 10-1, 12-1 was enormous. Yeah, he'd probably be, the price he is, I think he's got a lovely draw. He'd be a bit of value. I think he might get double figures if he sniff around still in the exchanges later on, although we shouldn't mention those. Yeah, it'd be my idea of a value bet tonight anyway. But you can't eat value, Jason, you always say. This one through value.
Lofty, you're an absolute superstar, but can we finish with a close-up? No, a close-up on the shirt, because he'll be losing that later tonight.
You don't want to see that, do you?
Star Sport sponsoring the show with Showtime Guarantee. We guarantee to lay any dog to win $5,000 on the show in any Star Sports Greyhound Derby heat. So, of course, they are a little bit later on, but it's the Showtime Guarantee. Download the app, visit starsports.bet or call the number on screen. And don't forget, gamble aware and 18 and over. But our thanks to Star Sports, because without them, we would not be here. And neither would Daryl.
Delighted to be here, and I'm sure Table Toppers is delighted to be back in Trap 1 because he won the blue ribbon, of course, and he's 3 from 6 in Trap 1 here at Toaster. Definitely best runs when he's in red at this trap. He's 11-4 chance, 14-1 is Druid's Orgo, was a finalist last year, now with Craig Morris with Pat Jansen's last year. Romeo Tomcat, third round elimination in the Derby, 9-4 for Pat Jansen's in the 3. Here's Ringo, a maiden at starting for Glenn Hockings. We heard from Glenn, didn't we? I think it was last week. Big price. We wish him well. 22-1. Drip is Maximus for Richie Taberner. He's a double-digit runner as well at 14. Second round Derby elimination. And Lenny's Desire ran well in the maiden Derby. Is your even money favourite, the first of the Irish runners in the plate at evens for Paul Hennessy.
Now we are going to have a look at the favourite, Lenny's Desire. This was on May the 10th, round 1, heat 23. Superb.
It really was superb. Cracking performance. And again, I don't know if this is Lenny's Desire because he led all the way on that occasion.
Yeah.
I think this is the wrong VT. Again, because he led all the way on the 10th of May. This isn't the 10th of May. Quick Way always led, but a good performance. This is what we've just seen. Hopes and Blumper was in Trap 2, I believe, on this occasion.
Yeah, I think it was Single on Molly.
Single on Molly, yeah. So, unfortunately, wrong VT, guys, so we do apologise.
That is live TV for you, everybody. Just the wrong button pressed, and that's what happens. So, anyway, Lenny's Desire did bolt in 2 starts back, beat Vagar, who, of course, was flying behind Churchfield Sid as well on one of the rounds. So, she was very, very strong finisher, but he bolted up by just over 9 lengths in a time of 28.58. So, he's evens this evening, and Trap 1, Table Toppers. I mean, he loves it here. He's just been in a little bit of trouble, especially in the Derby.
Yeah, Mark tried to campaign him in a way where he was trying to improve him week by week in the Derby. Now, we've seen this year, Danny, you can't be doing that. These dogs have got to be at it all the time because we have got the very, very best around. I know he won the blue ribbon in January round here. He made the final of the Kent Plate behind proper heiress as well.
Yep.
So he's had a little bit of time off after that, as you can see on the card, but these dogs are not giving you a chance here to be 70, 80%. You've got to be 90, 100% throughout here to try and keep competing with these Bocco's Diamonds, Cheap Sandwich, etc. That might have caught him out a little bit. He's trialled well, 29-10, and look, he's a big player. He's got his draw on the inside. Plenty of people here. Fantastic to see. My next best is 3, Romeo Tomcat.
Okay, so the next best coming up for Joe is the puppy, June 23, so he's actually out of puppyhood tomorrow. So he is, well, it's not his birthday tomorrow, but, you know, he's 2 tomorrow. Just looking at a few comments. Every time I do a dog each way, it comes 3rd. Welcome to my world, Tommy. 3 looks the bet in the next. Fancy the 3, but worried about getting a run to the bend.
Yeah, if Tabletoppers comes away, he's got decent early, so I can see that from our writer. But yeah, Lenny's Desires well drawn on the outside. Droopy's Maximus. I'm not sure where a wide seed has come from, but Danny will let you go through the parade.
Tabletoppers, Blue Riband winner, unbeaten, did have slight trouble and just qualified in the first round, but had no chance after trouble in the second. Has had a trial since. There's Druids All Go in Trap 2, a Derby Plate finalist last year, snuck through the first round, led for a while in the second round, but was just beaten by a couple of stronger types in the end, behind Tiffield Tarquin. Trap 3 is Romeo Tomcat, burst onto the scene at Central Park a while ago, absolutely dotted up in the second round, but got crowded on the first bend last week from this location in the white jacket. In Trap 4, here's Ringo, is 0 from 12 so far, 5 in Ireland, 7 here, has been troubled in both rounds and in a minor open as well last week, so hoping to avoid it this time. Trap 5 is Droopy's Maximus, found trouble in all 4 runs here and last time out at Romford, but has won both his races at Monmore. He's still only likely raced with 7 on the board for Richie Taverner, and we'll see if he is another one that can avoid the aggro. And Lenny's Desire. Impressed in the maiden derby, bolted up in the first round, got troubled in the second round, but he's still promising for Paul Hennessy. He's only likely raced for a December 22. Now we're going to go back to Jason.
Now I'm very pleased to say I'm in the company of a gentleman, David Mullins, who has March on Freddie, of course, in the quarter-final of the Derby.
It's good to be here.
It's great to be. March on Freddie, has he changed his running style? You remember, you know, breaking track records at Nottingham and that type of thing?
No, not at all. A lot of people say he's lost his early. I don't know where they get that because he never had any early anyway. But if you look at, if you analyse his races at Nottingham and Central Park, they've got a huge run to the corner. If you look where he's lying at the winning line, he's normally about 4th. It's that extra yardage to the corner where he utilises his pace. So no, he hasn't. I don't think so. No.
Well, he's always had exceptional ability. Certainly retains that, and we've seen that. Got to mention the draw, David. Trap 4, obviously not ideal.
No, it's from. I always said Toaster will never ever be his ideal track, but Toaster wouldn't stop him winning a derby. He's got the ability to do it, and if he gets a clear run, he's definitely got a great chance. I've always said, though, Trap 4 or a middle draw could be curtains for him, but which is what he's got. But there's a lot of dogs that would love to be in Trap 4 in this race.
I know you're not really one for ifs, buts and maybes, but I was thinking if Cheap Sandwiches just gets out and gets clear, and so you get that clear run, then it is very hard to see you not qualifying.
I don't know, really. I'm just looking, if he gets a clear run himself.
That little chat's going to carry on. I think while we enjoy the 7.28, the priced up bet Derby Plate, heat number 2, Lenny's Desire. Shade of odds on the outside. They break away. Lovely pace up as well from Paul Hennessy's charge as they go to the corner. Tabletoppers on the inside. Romeo Tomcat is splitting them. Just stepped to the right there, but moves into second now. Starts to get after the leader. Tabletoppers now just ahead of 2. Druids All Go's taking a hit and has gone wrong, I think. Unfortunately, Druids All Go is dropping to the rear of the field. They turn in Lenny's Desire. A length and a half. Romeo Tomcat in second place. Then comes Tabletoppers. They're off the bend. Lenny's Desire for Paul Hennessy is flashing right away now and will score. Romeo Tomcat, Tabletoppers back in 3rd, and let's hope Druids All Go is okay. In trouble at the back of the field, and I think they've picked him up at around the 3rd bend.
Yes, I think they have. Druids All Go. So yeah, he's definitely been Yeah, picked up, and the ambulance is on the way as well. So Polly the vet will be checking over Druids All Go very shortly indeed. Now we are going to take the replay from halfway down the back straight, and trap 6, Lenny's Desire. I mean, he bolted up in the first round. He was always going to be quite tough to beat if he got the break tonight, and it's proven to be the case.
Yeah, it was race over once he led. I'm just watching Druids All Go into the ambulance. He is now in the ambulance, so Polly will work her wonders on Druids All Go, and we all wish that he is okay from here as well. But great performance from Lenny's Desire. Once he led, he's a strong running type. He's never going to be for catching. Good runs from Romeo Tomcat. Good to see Tabletoppers in there as well. But yeah, we all wish that Druids All Go's okay. The rest of it goes out the window. When that happens, anything, you're a winner or whatever, everyone then initially just says, right, let's hope the Druids All Go's okay. He's off the track, he's in the ambulance, he'll be going back to the event.
Well, we've literally just been stepped out because we're in the restaurant, and we're like just looking at the through the window so that we can see exactly what's going on rather than paying attention to exactly what's going on the screen. But you can see the heads on.
Romeo Tomcat, you can see him there out of 3, and he's definitely a middle runner. He's not a railer, he's a middle runner. He's come out there and gone straight towards lane 5. But yeah, this is just brilliant.
Look at the view.
Wow, new track record. What? We are hearing the track record has gone 28.39.
28.39.
5 spots off the clock.
39.
We thought it was going to go in the Derby. It's gone in the plate.
Heck. I mean, I thought he was a nice dog, but gee whiz. That, I'm speechless, Joe. 28.39.
Yeah, that's an insane run.
I mean, what did he record? 28.58. Wow.
He's found 2.5 lengths on his run there. Look, it's a lovely evening. The track's in good order. If it's ever going to go, it's going to be. If it's ever going to go, it's going to be on a night like tonight. But that is a sensational run. 28.39 in the hands of a master.
Wow, that is impressive. I am stunned, but what a run from Lenny's Desire. Someone had Lenny's Desire antipose for the Derby, so did I. I quite liked him from the maiden Derby, to be fair. Congrats. Yeah. Wow. So Lenny's Desire, he's now 3 from 6 over on these shores. Very impressive. He's a balanced dog as well, I think. You know, when you see him running around, he is balanced on the bends, and when you're running at Toaster, that is key.
Yeah, they probably pinch themselves connections, seeding him rails for the maiden Derby, because he found all sorts of bother behind Hello Diego. He would have been an absolute shoo-in from a wider draw, even a middle draw, to win that competition. And that just shows how fast he is. He's an absolute aeroplane. 2 in 28.39. That's for 500 metres to be able to clock that time is just
a bit quicker than you, right?
Astronomical. Yeah, it's faster than what I'm running in that drone. But yeah, that's just a brilliant run. It really is. And look, he will now be a very short price for the competition because he was favourite anyway. He's a very, very fast greyhound. Paul will be delighted with that. Of course, a Cheltenham Festival winning trainer as well. Paul Hennessy with Heaven Help Us in 2021. But a great performance from him. We'll get connections. We'll hear from Emily soon. Billy's just having a chat with Paul in the middle. But what a fantastic run. 28.39, 5 spots off Barty Bear's clock.
Well, we've had a few people on the old chat on YouTube. Deladi Dar will re-break the record tonight, but Don says Soleil Mio's going to break it. So who knows what's going to happen this evening, because that is phenomenal. 28.39. Wow. I mean, the track record that was the one prior was Barnsick Bear. We'll see him a little bit later on, but he was in October as well. Turned away from the camera. He's camera shy. Doesn't want to know. Doesn't want to inflate his ego too much bigger than it is.
You do what you want.
Well, yeah, that is true. So he's going to head to the podium shortly. There's Steve Nash, of course, absolute legend of the sport. If you are new to the channel, Steve Nash has been around for many, many a year, and he is our main industry photographer as we gear up for the presentation. A couple of the Greyhound Racing UK staff in the background I can see getting involved with the sport this evening.
We did have Paul on the podcast, didn't we? But he was stuck with a horse the other side of Islands.
Yeah, because he does too many things in his life. We
will get him on, though.
We will, yeah. When he wins the Derby, we'll get him on. But there they are with an absolute superstar. 28.39. I cannot believe it. Right, let's go to Emily.
Thank you, Danny. I mean, 28.39, new track record, a really, really special performance from Lenny's Desire. We're going to get a quick word with Paul Hennessy, the trainer. I mean, wow, I think that's the only words we have to say about him.
He's a very promising young dog. You know this game. He just got carried out in the second round, I think it was, and he showed tonight what he can do, getting a run. But all it means is we're qualified for the semi-final, that's it. And we hopefully be back again next weekend, and hopefully have something else in that other competition that's going on at the moment as well.
Exactly, we will touch on that, but just for now, Lenny's Desire, I mean, when he trapped like that, it was always going to be a bit of a race against the clock.
He gets the trip well, and it's lovely for Lee Craze, you know, just to show that he can do that, and it's grand, isn't it? You know yourself, you know you're born and reared to this game, you know when a nice dog gets a run to do a nice run, it is pleasing, but it only means we're in the semi-finals, it doesn't mean anything else.
Exactly, well, I'm sure he's got a very good chance in the competition overall. And a quick word on your two quarter-finalists as well.
They're in good form, they're in good form, and we're hoping for a good run out of them. So look, fingers crossed, you know yourself.
And we're going to have a quick word with the owner, Lee Craze, just having his photo done right now by Steve Nash. Going to get a quick word with Lee. Very, very impressive, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's fantastic, especially after the way he got knocked out of the derby. So, and to get the track record's amazing for the whole team. Paul, Susan, Kevin at home, you know, a lot of work, a lot of effort's gone in. So amazing. But my grandson's not here tonight, sadly, who's little Lenny. But never mind.
Watching at home?
Sorry?
Watching at home?
No, he's on holiday, but he always comes, but not tonight.
Many congratulations, and Susan, a quick word as well. So impressive. Like I said to Paul, when he got out like that, it probably was going to be a race against the clock, but were you surprised to hear he's gone that quickly?
I was at this stage, because since we've just been, you know, taking him handy or whatever, and yeah, super run. I call him the pocket rocket. So, and he's such a gorgeous dog, easy to handle. He does everything right. That'll do his confidence great. I was just delighted that he actually came away racing and got a clean run. And look, time comes up, but it's a fantastic accolade to have the track record in Towcester, and we're thrilled. And I'm delighted for Lee and for all the owners. So it's brilliant.
Definitely a really, really great achievement. A run that's going to go down in history. So well done, Susan. And like I said, Paul, best of luck later on as well.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Lenny's Desire, very impressive performance.
Very impressive. Our new track record holder here at Towcester, Lenny's Desire. Remember that name. 28.39, 5-6 favourite, has beaten Romeo Tomcat at 11-4, and Table Toppers is through to the next round at 11-4 in third.
Bet clever. Bet Goodwin. Proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs.
Away they go, and NSC on the inside gets a good break with Signal Spark. Then comes Tap Watcher as they go around the first bend, and it's NSC being passed now by Signal Spark, and Tap Watcher gets a bump there at that first bend, but it's Signal Spark 2 lengths clear now from Tap Watcher in second. Then comes NSC. After these comes Ricasso Tiller moving up into third as they go around the second last bend, and it's still Signal Spark a length and a half clear. Tap Watcher is going to challenge on the inside, and it's Signal Spark beginning to fade. Tap Watcher beginning to get up, or is he? It's Signal Spark and Tap Watcher. They go past together. A desperately close finish here for the derby. That's definitely one for the judge. A neck and neck finish, nail-biting stuff here at Wimbledon, and that is one for the judge. I think people think that Tap Watcher's won, but it's desperately close. We wait on the judge for this one.
Well, welcome back to the presentation area here at Towcester. I am joined by Carla, the lead singer of the Zoots, who are playing here after racing tonight. Carla, are you enjoying your night so far?
I am loving it. It's been great. Such a great atmosphere, isn't it?
It certainly is. Like I said, you're playing after racing, but I think you're just enjoying your time here before as well.
I really am, yeah. We're getting treated like royalty up there in the box, having a good watch of everything. It's been fantastic, yeah.
And what kind of music do your band play? How many of there are you?
There are 6 of us. There's a couple of techs as well, so I'm having to think. But yeah, there's 6 of us in the band, and we play a real variety. So there's lots of dancing stuff, some soul, anything from the 60s right through to the present day.
So something for everyone.
Indeed, there should be. I'm hoping so, yeah.
Well, thank you, Carla. Hopefully lots of people are dancing away tonight.
I hope so. Lots to celebrate.
Lovely. Thank you.
Now, we have got plenty coming up on the show, of course, this evening. Great to see the bands, of course, after the show, after the night's racing. They've had them for every single night of the Derby so far, and I think tonight, going to have quite a crowd.
Yeah, there's more people here tonight, so hopefully they do stay and have a bit of a dance and a boogie. A lot more people outside, and with Hobbsy interacting with the crowd, they are able to hear it, they understand what's going on, so hopefully we get a decent crowd in there after racing, enjoying what has been and what will be a brilliant night.
Now, let's see what we have in store for our next race. We've got Val Tashadelic in trap 1, 2-1 on. Very short. The other boss, 12-1 in 2. Barntic Bear, 100-30 in 3. Pain Barrier, 6-1 in 4. Deliveroo, big price, 16-1 with Brinkley's Louis. His kennel mate also at 16-1. This is Jason's nap. Val Tashadelic at 8-15. Your nap's already got in. Mine is later on. This is Jason's. So he just said trap 1, that was it. In the preview show, basically. He saw trap 1, and that was why he's decided to go with this lad.
Yeah, look, I want the other boss, to qualify. Obviously connected with license with Carol and Darren, so I want the other boss to qualify. If he gets a clear run, he has got a chance. But this is Val Tashadelic beating Romeo Tomcat on the 8th of May in the first round, and a great performance. You see from trap 1 what he does, Danny. He gets to use that inside line. Romeo Tomcat in 4 would have been a better draw for him after what we've just seen there from 3, and it was a good buckle. They went head to head, and he wouldn't go away, Val Tashadelic, and Romeo Tomcat, he stayed with him all the way. There was only 3 parts of a length between them in the end, and a very good race, 28-61. So when you've had to work that hard to do that time, it's an impressive run.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Val Tashadelic, especially on the ground on that night as well, because it was a lot slower than it was on the other 2. So, you know, the first night was absolutely Baltic here at Toaster for our first night of the first round. I was inside, so I was happy, but the dogs seemed to struggle, and then it was just a little bit slower than you would have expected. And then Val Tashadelic and Cheap Sandwiches did the fastest 2 times of the night. So, you know, this lad, he knows how to win. He knows where the winning line is here at Toaster. He's got a great draw on the inside. But I did think that Deliveroo could be a big price in this, because he was unlucky last week behind Singalong Molly. He was troubled at the 4th bend. Yes, he didn't really get into the race last week, but he's only a youngster, really. He's a May 23. He's just come out of puppyhood, and he's running the races of his life at the moment.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred them drawn the other way round, Deliveroo, Brinkley's Louis, but we'll let you talk about the parade.
Now, there is Val Tashadelic. Ran well under a challenge in the first round, as we saw, but knocked out last week behind Singalong Molly when troubled at the 3rd turn. He's 8-15. 14-1 for the other boss, who stays well at Oxford. He's going to be interesting if he turns handy, because he's been going over 6 bends, the 650 at Oxford, and has been second on a couple of occasions recently. Trap 3, Barntic Bear, was the track record holder before the last race. Got a troubled 3rd round run. Will take some beating if he gets out the boxes here, Barntic Bear, and just holds that handy posse. Track 4 was Pain Barrier, 5th in the Conan and Kirby Memorial. That form's been working well at Toaster. There's Deliveroo, 2 Cat 1 semis as a pup. He was unlucky last week when he was troubled late doors. And then you've got Trap 6, Brinkley's Louis, who we heard from Tom is a little bit of a loony in the kennel. He's the Laurel semi-finalist. He shows fair early, but he's only got 1 win. So I think he's one of those that might live on his nerves just a little bit, Brinkley's Louis. Right, we're going to go back to Jason.
Yes, right. Look at this. Look at that. Does that look like a hooker to you? Jonathan Hobbs last week thought you, Mike. Yeah. Look at that. Look at the size of brute. You don't mind me saying that. You were a
prop.
A prop, and a fearsome one, I think it's fair to say.
No, he's a very friendly one.
No, he wasn't. Droopy Aladdin.
Yeah, he's going to be all right. We're hopeful. In fact, we're confident, because I think he'll get away. He's up, and that's not much that I've been doing to him. He's growing up. He's going into his strength, and we're expecting him to break as he does normal. The dog inside him, the 2 dog, he's obviously got the same ability, and I think the 2 of them need to avoid each other at the first bend, and then we'll see who's the best. There'll be a lot of threat from outside. 3 strong finishing dogs, and they may get in each other's way as well. So it's going to be the run of the race will be important.
And been bouncing at home.
Yep, but he's always very relaxed. He's you get up in the morning, he's on his back. He doesn't jump out first, never barks. Eats up all the time. He's a happy dog, and very relaxed. And yeah, even my wife likes him. So
praise indeed. Best of luck, Mike.
Thank you.
Just got a comment on the chat that says the bear to get his track record back from time-lapse photography. He could do.
He could do, he really could. The other boss, he's done 28.80 around here, Danny, back in December. The other boss is not on the card, of course, but he's 28.80, a win around here. Would have preferred to be in track 1. Darren and Carol, they decided to step him up at Oxford. He went okay. But he's a fast dog, really, really fast dog. You wouldn't put anyone off there. First 3, he'd be 20 to 1. He'll be a decent price first 3. He does stay. If he comes away and gets a run, he's a big player. But yeah, all about Valtashadelic. If he comes away and leads, he'll take the beating. And of course, Barty Bear has been sold. He'll be Chalmers Bear as of next week. So Lee Chalmers took over. Craig Morris is now trading him. Spoke to Craig earlier. He's in good form. And look, he's a frustrating dog. He's as fast as they come. He really is. And we know that. And that's probably where the frustrations do lie, that he hasn't won a competition or he's still not in the derby. I was bemused by last week's run, where I know he had Fabulous Sonique inside who led him, but he didn't show anything to the bend and finished last. He didn't pick a dog up, so that was a bit of a worry. So whether the switching kennel freshens him up and lives him up, he might do, and if he does,
you see it with
Craig's
horses all the
got a hell
time.
of a dog on his hands.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, so it could be a shrewd buy. We'll see. We will see. Time will tell here with Barnsick Bear.
Little brothers here in 4 and 5.
Aww.
Barrier Deliveroo.
Lovely.
Good breeding.
Yeah, very good breeding.
She's through a hell of a lot, Dolce Vita. She really has. Antigua Sugar. She was out of Dolce Vita. She's through a hell of a lot. So yeah, strong breeding here, 4 and 5.
And Payne Barrier was 5th in the Conan and Kirby Memorial, so that form's come to the fore quite a lot, Darryl.
It certainly has. It's one of those races where we keep going back, don't we? But 4 to 7 here, Valtashadelic, 2 from 2 when drawn in trap 1 here at Toaster. Going to go off a warm order, perhaps the warmest favourite of the night. Who knows? 1 or 2 of the Derby quarter-finalist favourites are a little bit uneasy in the market. A few of us are trying to take those on later, but not too many taking on Valtashadelic here for Graham Holland. The hare comes to the boxes. Heat number 3, they race away. Deliveroo's got a lovely start from Payne Barrier up on the inside. Valtashadelic now working its way into the race. They go to the corner, and now he moves on. He goes on by about a length. Deliveroo trying to get back on terms. Gap back to Brinkley's Louis, and then Payne Barrier, and then the other Boston at the rear. The former track record holder Barntip Bear, who can't get a run at all off the final bend. Valtashadelic leads off the bend then. Leads by about 2 here for Larry Dunn and Graham Holland down the stretch from Deliveroo. Valtashadelic, a big run in front here, scores nicely. Beat the 5 Deliveroo, and 2 the other bosses qualified in 3rd.
Cracking start from Deliveroo, but it was only a matter of time before Valtashadelic picked him up down the back.
Yeah, loves trap 1. Jason was right. We said, why is he the nap, Jason? He just said trap 1 and mic drop. That was it. So he's doing really well. Deliveroo's come out. He's come out flying. We weren't sure on the draw being drawn in 5. There's no reason for him. He's come out running. Deliveroo, you can see there, really good break. And a good break from Payne Barrier. He just couldn't quite hold the line there, and a lovely early pace with Valtashadelic. And then I was watching the other boss, and as long as he was in front of Barnsick Bear, I was happy enough, because it takes some dogs to back run the other boss. He stays. It was just getting through here at the 3rd bend. He managed to get through. He's qualified. Cracking run for Deliveroo. 28.69, a good run. We lose Barnsick Bear. I think that might be the last time we see him over 4 bends for a while.
Barnsick Bear?
Yeah, I think it just might be time now just to step him up and give him a run back over 6 bends, because he's just getting detached. Even here, Danny, look, the other boss is a 4 to 6 bend dog, and he's leading him.
Yeah.
And, he's showing all the speed in the world that we know from the 2nd bend. Just might be time just to step him up. But look, Connections will have their own plans and thoughts with what to do with him. But this is all about Valtashadelic. Took him along, led, race over. Good performance, good time, 28.69. He's got near what he did in the Derby.
And thrilled for Deliveroo to qualify as well, because, the Tom Halebron kennel, we've had them on the podcast, they do a lot of work up north, and Ben Collins, he's a great advocate for the sport as well. He owns the dog Deliveroo. He's a kennel hand with Tom. He was second in the owners rep race as well.
I do hope they can work together though, Tony, Ben and the other guys. I hope they can work together. And if they have got any ideas, Ben will have different ideas to what Tony had, and
of course, and
the other 2 as well. Caitlin and Alan. So yeah, there'll be different ideas. Hopefully they can all get together and put them to Tony. And if he wants to use them, he can. But here comes Valtashadelic back on into the podium. Great performance from him. Another one for Graham Holland. Just just keep following up because it's just printed money at times, isn't it, no matter what price they are.
And if you haven't already, do give Rachel Holland's column a read, because she's doing a blog from the kennel right throughout the Derby. I think she started a couple of weeks beforehand, and they're fabulous reads. Really, really good. She's got a way with words as Rachel, and they are fabulous. So, yeah, do make sure you take a check on those. People saying that they hope Ryan has a better night than he's had so far throughout the competition, because he's been slightly unlucky, I think we should say.
He's been, I won't call him unlucky, he's been absolutely terrible. Especially here at Toaster, he's been let's be blunt, he's been a disgrace here at Toaster, and he is barking mad. So yeah, I hope he has a better night tonight. I did beat him with my nap. He was with Trap One, Radical Scobie, so I'm pleased about that. So that'll be on the video. Yeah. Let's go to Emily.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, very impressive performance from Val Tashadelic in the third heat of the Derby Plate. We're going to grab a quick word with Nikki Holland. Nikki, that was a really, really nice run. I think he was obviously short price, fancied by a lot of people, but he got the job done well.
Yeah, look, he was well drawn in Trap One. He's desperate for the rails and didn't come away that well, but obviously then made use of his inside line, went on and won. He's there for next week. Just fingers crossed we get a decent draw again next week. You know, he ran really well in the first round of the Derby at Trap One, and then he drew Trap Four and just got all sorts of bother there. So, yeah, he is a bit draw dependent, so we're keeping our fingers crossed for a good draw.
Definitely, the fact that he's draw dependent would be his fault, but when he does get one and gets his run, he's a very good dog, isn't he?
He is, yeah, you know, he keeps on that rail, he's got nice early. Obviously we'd like to have seen him come out a little bit better, so hopefully next week he can do that, and he does stay the 500 really, really well. So it's great for his owner. He'll be watching probably in Portugal in his villa, so yeah, it's great for him.
And of course, it's a very, very busy night for you. I think 4 in the Derby quarterfinals. How does sort of feel around the kennel this week?
Look, you know, we couldn't be happy with them. They've all come out of their third rounds in great form. You know, it's quarterfinals, it's tough. So we're just hoping they can trap really well. They need to in the competition they're up against. And look, hopefully we'll get a couple of them into the draw for next week. That's all we want. First, second or third would be great with some.
I'd ask if you were nervous, but you've been in this position so many times. I say you're fairly used to it by now.
Yeah, look, they're animals. You can't get nervous. It goes down the lead to the dogs, so you just have to just go out there and try and be positive with them. You know, they love it. They love racing, as you know. So, yeah, no, we try not to be too nervous anyway.
Thank you. Best of luck later, and fingers crossed for a good draw for Val as well.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Nikki.
Thanks.
Yeah, fingers crossed for Val's draw. Val Tashadelic beats Deliveroo and the other boss, 8-15 favourite, 20-1 and 20-1. They are going to be paying some good forecast and tri-cast dividends.
Bet Goodwin, proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs. Bet clever, bet Goodwin.
Away they go, and quite a level break. Tico showing up with Master Hardy up on the inside. Comes Sunday Express going around that first bend of 5. Tico just gets round in front, a bit of bumping behind as well. Tico now 3 lengths clear from Sunday Express. After this comes Master Hardy being challenged by Fearless Action as they go around the second last bend. But Tico increasing the lead. It looks like 3 lengths now. Tico 3 lengths clear from Sunday Express. He's being pressed all the time as they come off the final bend, and it's Tico drawing further away now. They're bunching up for second. Master Hardy just gets second, but it's Tico who wins emphatically in the end from Master Hardy. Then came the Sunday Express back in third, but it's a 1-2 for Arthur Hitch. Tico and Master Hardy, but Tico very impressive indeed.
Great to see these old races from back in the mid-80s.
Remember that one?
Anyway, we have got our look back at the third round. These are the highlights from last Saturday.
Up go the lids and off and racing, and Slick Sentinel has bombed out the boxes and leads into the turn in front of New In Benny, who's going to turn second. Then comes One Slick Jamie, who got a flyer and has turned in a pitch. In behind these then comes Sunnyside Broxy, and Righty is the back marker at the halfway stage into the third turn. And Slick Sentinel, he just loves Toaster, doesn't he? He's booted 3 lengths clear now from New In Benny. And then in behind these comes One Slick Jamie, and running on from the back is Sunnyside Broxy, but up towards the line. 6 wins it.
He did everything right from the start.
lot, you know what I mean? So, yeah, last week he missed it, this week he pinged it, so yeah, he's a very good dog. He loves Toaster, he loves Trap 6, so yeah, fingers crossed, quarterfinals.
And away and racing. Bombay Pat missed the kick. First to show was Bubbly Charger, who lead into the turn in front of Droopy's Plunge. Oh, just got dragged back there. And Droopy's Plunge, he is now back in fourth spot as they reach the halfway stage. Bubbly Charger with Bombay Pat now trying to launch a challenge into the third turn. They're well clear of Ginger's Shelby. In behind these comes Droopy's Plunge. They turn for the judge now. It's hard work for Bubbly Charger, pressed all the while by Bombay Pat, but he's kicked again. Bubbly Charger makes all.
Listen, we've plenty of vocal support, but it's even for that, Jonathan, you know, the industry needs people like Steve Fluhan to get people involved for very little money. And, you know, as I said to most of them there, enjoy the ride, because this is not easy. And any time you come over and you compete in the English Derby, you're privileged.
And away and racing and flashing out the boxes is Delardi-Dar. Early pace though is Ballybola Joe to come through and challenge, but it's Delardi-Dar that hits the front from Ballybola Joe up on the outside. Just got a little bump there at the second bend, but he is trying to bridge the gap into the third turn. Delardi-Dar on the inside, Ballybola Joe on the outside. They clash, and this is allowed 6. March on Freddy to edge closer, along with No Better Feeling coming for home now. And Delardi-Dar has kicked again and gone on. Delardi-Dar wins it.
Some people were saying he was finished, but I didn't think so. But I think he's as good a dog as yes. He's as interested as ever. He's very keen, and look, there's a bit of luck from here on in, as you know, Jonathan. But once he's there, we don't really particularly mind after that.
And they're away and racing, and Cheap Savages has come out well. Bocco's Diamond is showing good early dash into the turn and clears Suleika Senan, who just dragged back JT Craze, and he's large now down the far side. Bocco's Diamond showing his gears and going 2 lengths clear of his kennelmate Cheap Savage in second. They're well clear of Suleika Senan. Then comes Droopy's Bookham, who's trying to get past and look for a way to qualify. As they turn for home, it's Bocco's Diamond with a length and a half lead, and sees it out. Bocco's Diamond just from Cheap Savages, who lunged near the line.
I don't know what happened at the start. After rewatch it, it looked like he stumbled a little bit, and then to take off and beat 6 to the corner after missing it, some run.
Bocco's, as a bookie, round by round, he's a dog that naturally a bookmaker wants to lay, because he misses then goes.
And they're off and racing. Fairly level line between Keithville Maverick and Droopy's Aladdin into the turn. And it is on the outer Keithville Maverick. The nose is ahead, but he just gets a bump there from Droopy's Aladdin. They clash, and Droopy's Aladdin has now gone on from Keithville Maverick. They're clear then of Prince Nassim. In behind these comes Ballymac Tibet, the youngster looking to stay on. And then we have Tomcat and Faye Point Susie struggling at the back, turning for home. And it's Droopy's Aladdin. He's going to go on and score. Droopy's Aladdin sees it out well from Keithville Maverick.
He is one of the fastest dogs in the Derby. He's staying on a lot stronger now.
Yeah, well, he is. You must remember, he lives in Gloucestershire, a great rugby country, and that is where he gets it from the air, you see. It's a wonderful thing.
And they're off and racing, and Droopy Stray gets a decent break, but Tiffield Tarkin also showing pace into the turn, but it is the youngster Trade that hits the front, barges his way to the front, and Teddy got shuffled back through the pack. Down the far side, Hello Diego is making progress here, and it's Droopy's Trade with a 2.5 length lead from Hello Diego, who will be staying on. Then in behind these comes Tiffield Tarquin and Teddy, and it's up towards the line. Droopy's Trade is all out. It's Droopy's Trade hanging on grimly from Hello Diego.
He come out well, I thought, and then he sort of went a bit down on his nose. But then when once Roy's dog led, I thought we were in trouble here. But he paced up into the bend and got on the inside, and then he made his own luck really there. Listen, he's only young, he keeps improving, still broke 29 after all that, so I'm very pleased with him in the quarterfinals, and fingers crossed.
And they're off from racing. Fame Point Harvey takes a flyer, and he goes into the first turn with a 2 length lead already in front of Coolio Gold, who's going to turn second. Then comes Sing Along Molly, who's trying to make ground now, and she's doing so. Moves into second at the halfway stage. Romeo Empire likewise is trying to make a move. They're into the penultimate turn, and it's Fame Point Harvey bearing down his Sing Along Molly. She's a strong stayer. He's toughing it down on the inside, Fame Point Harvey, but late and fast, Sing Along Molly gets it.
I knew the one dog had all the early pace, and we're hoping to come from behind. And when I see her within a length, I thought there's a chance that she could just pick him up and great run over the moon there.
She's not shy of a battle.
No, definitely not. She's full of heart, and I think that's what makes her so good. Gilbert's been so lucky with great bitches, but she has to be up there with her heart and how clever she is with the way she tracks, so it's brilliant.
Ready and racing, and it is Solomia who bombs out the boxes with Churchfield here for company and trying to get up there as well as Dynamic Force, but can't quite make it at the moment because it's Solomia that's gone round in front here. He's gone 2 lengths clear from Dynamic Force. Then we got Churchfield sitting behind these. Then comes Indian Body, and at the back of the pack we got Fabulous Sonic and Baltic Bear just can't go the gallop as they turn for the judge. Solomio with switching up on the inside to challenge his Dynamic Force, but Solomio sees it out well.
It's kind of the hallmarks of the Kildare dog. To be fair, we kind of threw him into it. He ran up the curb, he ran a blind in the final. You know, here we threw him in the sprint, probably my fault. I left him off for a week, but anyway, we got away with the first round, and I think, to be honest, it takes 2 or 3 runs to run it. Track is immaculate.
Well, what a night it was last Saturday, and what a night it's turning out to be this evening. We've already had the track record gone, 28:39 recorded by Lenny's Desire earlier on in the show. And thank you to the 2,100 people that are watching. We had a bit of a panic just a moment ago, so we thought there was 315 people watching. So very happy that you have not gone to the Champions League final. Right, we're going to have a look at the outright prices. Bocco's Diamond 2-1, Cheap Sandwiches 4s, Delardi Dar 6s, Sole Mio 10s, Bombay Pat 12s, 18-1, and bigger the remainder. We've also got the fastest times as well that will head onto screen shortly. These are the ones: Delardi Dar 28.50, Bocco's Diamond 28.51, Bombay Pat 28.53. Not much split in the top 3 there that were all recorded in rounds 1 and 2, but Sole Mio recorded his quickest in round 3, so very interesting to see it when you look like that. Right, here they are coming out onto the track. We are heading off for Scooby the Boss in trap 1. Kent Plate finalist, lost the UK maiden tag here at Toaster. Balked a lot at Hove though when he was the favourite last time, and was a little bit disappointing in second behind Burrows Eclipse, turning his back on the camera too. Trap 2, Kilmore Dancer was 4th in the Blue Ribbon final. Hasn't been seen since the first round for Mark Wallace, but has had a trial. 7 from 20 so far. Trap 3, Salaka's Tipster, had a confidence boost in a graded race after a fall, ran a big race behind JT Craze in the first round, but was a little troubled behind Bombay Pat last time in the second. Indian Bonnie in trap 4, Maiden Derby finalist, Blue Ribbon semi-finalist, but was troubled last week. And in fact, yeah, in most rounds actually, the second and third behind Singalong Molly and Sole Mio. Has only got the 1 win. Trap 5, Ginger Shelby, consistent graded performer at Hove, ran 2 career bests and was just unlucky last week not to qualify in 4th place. And trap 6, Ballymac Tibet, the only puppy in the field, August 23, 2 from 5 in Ireland, reached the second round of the Kirby. Isn't always quickly away, but will be staying on in the closing stages. Cracking race coming up.
Yeah, very good. I'm with Scooby the Boss on the inside. I put him up my anti-post for this competition at 20-1. This is him finishing second to Slick Sentinel. Now, I thought he'd won. When he turned in this position, I thought he'd won. And he was going to catch Slick Sentinel. But we know how good Slick Sentinel is. He loves this place. He won the Juvenile Classic here last year. And he managed to hold on in the end by a head from Scooby the Boss, who really did chase him down. When he gets trap 1, this dog is a different dog. That runner at Hove, then he was in trap 3 and he was diving left and he found a load of trouble. Although he went outside Slick Sentinel there, he did find trouble on that occasion. So yeah, Scooby the Boss for me. He was 20-1 for the competition. I thought that was a good each way bet.
Okay, so Scooby the Boss is the one here for Joe. Plenty of cash is changing hands, which is what we like to see. I don't like that
cap he's got on.
What is it?
Liverpool.
Oh, yeah, I'm from Manchester. So, yeah, anyway, football is on this evening.
It is, but you're not watching that. You're watching Gone to the Dogs, 2,000 people. Thank you very much. They're probably watching it on the phone. They've got the football on the telly. That's what I'd be doing at home.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, so would I. I would be watching this. I would not be watching the football. I have to watch Manchester United these days, but actually, I'm quite enjoying the football.
You poor soul.
Yeah. Well, they were good last week, all right. Anyway, we are getting ready for the next race here, which is the Heat 4 of the Priced Up .bet Derby Plate. We've got... the show is fantastic. We're lucky to have it. Thank you very much, Howard. I've got March on Freddie, 12 to 1 each way in the first quarter-final. Hello Diego's going to run a big race tonight. And we're going to go to Jason.
Okay, it's all right. We'll leave it till next time. Leave it. Yeah.
Trap 2 is the favourite here, Kilmore Dancer at 6 to 4.
All right, Jace, we'll wait till next time.
Well, yeah, I think he'd just decided that it was a no-go with whoever he decided to find, so we'll see. It'll forever be a mystery, like the person he kissed in the restaurant.
Yeah, we saw that person, and I think they're gone to be sick. And they haven't come out of the toilet yet, so hopefully they're okay.
You're mean. Right, there is Mike watching the action.
Watching the rugby in Northampton.
I was going to say, you know when you have a moment and think, is that Mike? Yes, it is. It is Mike Burton. So I would love him to win the Derby.
Oh, but what a story, especially with all that's going on in Wales with the racing. He's attached to Valley. What a cracking story that would be. You know, trying to close or ban racing in Wales, and he says, I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, come and see my kennels. I've just trained a Derby winner. It'd be a brilliant story, and what a lovely, lovely man as well, and a sporting legend. He really is a sporting British legend, so
he is.
It'd be a fantastic story.
And he might have another sporting British legend in his kennel.
He's got a nice dog, a really nice dog.
God, we're getting some cracking shots of the crowd. The sun's going down now, so you can cool down a little bit as well, Joe. Honestly, so funny in here. It feels like a greenhouse. There's quite a few people cheering. I don't know what at, but they are cheering. Oh, I think they saw themselves on the big screen. Oh, there we go. So,
I forgot we're on that screen there as well, Dan, yeah.
Yeah, so you know the big screen that used to be in the middle at Toaster? It's now to the side on the right, and it shows us.
Yeah, we just can't hear us, so they're lucky.
They are lucky, very lucky. Right, they are almost ready to go here at Toaster. Daryl, we've not heard from you for ages, it feels like. Who do you fancy in this one?
I like Kilmore Dancer, Danny, who is drawn into this. Needs to avoid Scooby the Boss. I'm not sure whether Scooby the Boss is going to edge just a little away from the fence. Lakers tips, I think, to go in, and maybe the pace is with the outside dogs. There's definitely been money for Indian Bonnie. It was 12 to 1 most of the day. He's going to go off at 6 to 1 for Maxine. So that's a bit of a springer in the betting. 7 railers already through, and 2 wide runners, 3 more qualification places for this priced up .bet Derby Plate. Heat number 4. Bunny is within moments of arriving at the boxes. They race away. Ginger Shelby got away well. Kilmore Dancer trying to break the line as well on the inside. Pacing up Scooby the Boss on the inside, though. Goes second now as Kilmore Dancer drops back into the pack. And Ginger Shelby leads for Patrick Brown down the far side. Scooby the Boss within a length in second place. Kilmore Dancer getting going again now in third. They're well clear of Suleika's tipster towards the final bend now. Scooby the Boss just edges on. Kilmore Dancer's in second. 5 dropped away. Ginger Shelby down the stretch. On the inside is going to be Kilmore Dancer challenging, but Scooby the Boss is still the boss. Goes on to take it. Scooby the Boss, Kilmore Dancer, and then Ballymac Tibet will qualify back in third.
Superb effort from Scooby the Boss, beating Kilmore Dancer, and Ballymac Tibet stayed on well for third place. So 1, 2, 6, Scooby the Boss, the winner. Lost the UK maiden tag here at Toaster, loves the place and has now got 4 wins to his name from 13 starts. Trap 1, Scooby the Boss has won our 4th Derby Plate heat.
Canadians Crackers are on fire, by the way. That's 4 winners out of 5. Tomcat second. We're on fire, Danny. And I know you've given me a lot of stick. You gave me a lot of stick over the years, over the last few weeks. So yeah, we're fighting back, and I had a message on Twitter saying, if I keep sweating, I've dropped to a fighting weight, and we are fighting back. So, Porkies, thank you very much. But we said out the second, Danny, look, race over. When he turned there, you see he's got all the pace in the world. Kilmore Dancer, he really has, and he should have won more than 7 out of 21 starts because he's that fast. But a strong running performance for Scooby the Boss, a great running Kilmore Dancer. Glad to see he's done that run, and he's put that awkward behind him.
Yeah.
But cracking early pace from Ginger Shelby, you just see chops the bend beautifully to hit the front there and goes on. But once he turned in that position, Scooby the Boss, he was always going to go on and win from there, as long as he'd done it right here. He's done it right. He's managed to go into the third bend. Kilmore Dancer's moved off with Ginger Shelby.
Yeah.
That hasn't helped him at all. That's allowed 6 and Ballymac Tibet, who we know stays really well at the puppy, to qualify back in third. Weren't beat far. 28.99. The second anti-post is through.
Wahoo! Well
2
done.
out of 2. Flashing Fender, Scooby the Boss, Inner Yankee with Romeo Steele and Savannah Regimental.
What I will say is Ginger Shelby doesn't want track 5. He's moved right off the track,
And then
almost
cut
on
the
the
bend
hair
lovely,
rail.
ain't he?
Yeah.
He's cut the bend beautifully from there. If he was in 6, it probably would have helped him because he would have had that straight line to go and do that. So it would have been brilliant for him. But yeah, a cracking performance as Lacey with Billy having a bit of a laugh in the middle of the track, and well done to him.
Well, I'm having a bit of a laugh here because we've got Mike watching live from Maui, Hawaii. Shosman watching live from Essex. Brian is watching live from the Penthouse Suite in Hackney. Stuart's sat on my bed having a JD from Leeds with Pads, my Greyhound. Oh, hello, Pads. Gerwin Price is apparently watching from the high rise in Peckham. Tommy's watching live out camping on Skegness Beach for the weekend. Someone else watching on mute. My missus thinks I'm checking the refuse collection case. So thank
I know
you.
where I'd rather be, Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
That's the one. Oh, that's the one.
That's the one we want to be.
Or Gerwin Price in Peckham.
Thanks everyone for watching live from Anfield Trophy Room, cleaning another trophy.
Oh my God, have a day off.
No.
Oh, we're not going to hear the end of that now, are we? They've won another league. It was done in November and no one cared about it. Well done.
There is Lacey Moran, who is attached to the Nathan Hunt kennel. And
Lovely girl.
absolutely loves the dogs. Used
she's a
to
cracking
be
girl.
an integral part of Nottingham Greyhound Stadium.
And one more
but
as
then-
well.
Yes.
One more first, wasn't she? And then moved to Nottingham. She lives Nottingham, so that worked well for her. She's always smiling, isn't she? She just
Never stops smiling.
always smiling. She's so happy all the time, and yeah, she's a cracking part of Nathan's team. She really is.
And another cracking person of our team actually now is Emily Wallace. Emily.
Thank you, Danny. The last heat of the Derby plate and a very nice winner in Scooby the Boss. We're going to have a quick word with Lacey. Very, very good run. I thought it was well drawn tonight, and he took his chance really well.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely prefer to see him running out of one. He was a bit unlucky in the Derby here, you know, got knocked out by Bombay Pat running on just to qualify. We took him away, we took him to Hove for a quick change of track, and, you know, I think it seems to prove that he just probably thrived from a track change. So, yeah, pleased with the winner.
The track change has done him well, but like I said, he did run so well in the Derby that he seems to like Toaster as well, so maybe could go even better in the Derby plate.
Yeah, hopefully that's the plan, you know. If you can't win the Derby plate, it's also almost like the runner-up. So, you know, delighted for the owner, delighted for Nathan, and delighted for him to have a win.
Thank you. Well done, Lacey.
Thank you.
Bet Good Win. Proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs.
Bet good win, bet good win, bet good win.
And away they go in wet conditions here at Wimbledon, and 6 gets a good break. Carrageen Chimes is the early leader. As they go around that first bend, it's Carrageen Chimes who's leading from Smoky Pete in 2. After these, moving up in 3 is Jack the Hiker down the far side. And it's still Carrageen Chimes a couple lengths clear, but here comes Jack the Hiker on his inside. After these, Pagan Swallow getting in the act. Smoky Pete fading as they go around the second last bend. And Jack the Hiker has it, but Pagan Swallow moving up. In between them is Carrageen Chimes. It's going to be a blanket finish, but no, it's Pagan Swallow who gets up in the end. Pagan Swallow wins the Derby for Philip Rees, and it's close for second between Jack the Hiker and Carrageen Chimes. So a surprise winner for the first Wimbledon Derby, Pagan Swallow, and I think a few people have backed him anyway at some fancy prices.
Well, someone was very excited in that final at Wimbledon. It was the very first Wimbledon Derby final. Right, Scuba the Boss won in a time of 28.99 at 2-1. Big Kilmore Dancer, 13-8 favourite, and Ballymac Tibet was back in third. Right, let's go to Jason.
Now, I'm very pleased to say I'm joined by Ben Collins and Michael Young. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
Hello, Ben.
Hi, mate.
Michael just said to me that the other week I took your missus by surprise.
You did, yeah. You interviewed her.
Thank God for that. I've heard that so many times in my life. Before we get on to Droopy's Bookham, I've got to say, Deliveroo.
Delivered. Yeah, I'm well happy with that. Going around the first, I thought he could win it, but he's in the hat next week, so it's fine.
It's like, you know, outside car showrooms, Michael, they get those things that go all funny. He was like that.
yeah, exactly that, yeah. I was going mad.
Droopy's Bookham won wonderfully well to get this far. Good draw.
Great draw on the inside. Yeah, we're definitely
box. It's just got to.
And same Ben?
Yeah, I mean, look, the key to the race is what 2 does out of the traps, and whether he moves off again, gives Bookham the row to himself, and look, we just want top 3. That's literally it.
That's obviously what it's about. But I mean, Mio and Aladdin could come. You don't wish it always, but it could come together.
Possibly.
Yeah.
We just want to.
And final question: who's the Hawaii 5-0 fan?
That's probably Sean in the kennels. He names all the dogs in the kennels, and something comes in, he comes up with a wild name, and everyone scratches their head for about 2 weeks thinking why the hell we called that. But yeah, that's Sean.
For those that don't know, kennel name Dano, so it's Bookham Dano.
Bookham Dano.
Brilliant.
Now, our thanks to Star Sports. Download the app, search Star Sports in the App Store or Star Sports Bet on Google Play. All the sports, all the action, all the odds. And our thanks to Star Sports for sponsoring the show. That is how we can bring you all of the best action here on Gone to the Dogs Live. Don't forget, gamble aware and 18 and over. It's almost time for the Derby Heats. Derby Heats, Derby quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals, we're nearly
I
there.
can't believe it. Daryl, who lines up in the first?
Well, here we are, Danny. We're nearly time, isn't it? The Star Sports TRC English Greyhound Derby first quarter final. We've all heard all about Droopy's Bookham, of course, running in trap 1 for Tom Hilbrun and the guys there at 14-1. I think really well drawn because Solomeo, we know from previous experience, is going to exit right from the boxes for Peter Cronin. 1 of 3 unbeaten greyhounds still in the Derby this year. 2 others run later, of course. Droopy's Aladdin for Mike Burton, getting quicker coming out of the boxes. In 3, 16-1, big price. March on Freddy, got to overcome that tricky draw. We heard from David Mullins earlier for George Watson. March on Freddy at 12-1. Cheap Sandwiches, the first of the shortest here. Hobbs' nap, I think, isn't it? 4-7 for Graham Holland, and Sing Along Molly for Pat Buckley on the outside. The only bitch remaining in the competition, but she's still there. And Danny, she's a 6-1 chance.
Is still there, and on Ladies' Day or Ladies' Night, I would love Sing Along Molly to win. And to be honest, she's getting better with every round, so it's not out of the realms of possibility that she will be staying on strongly. I'm not sure she's going to beat, or anybody's going to beat Cheap Sandwiches in this race. I do think that it's going to be him, and then it's see who qualifies after that. I do think she's going to sneak a place, though.
It's when the nerves kick in now, isn't it, Danny? We're getting so close now to the first quarter-final. Cheap Sandwiches here behind Bocco's Diamond. Droopy's Bookham. Look where Droopy's Bookham is at this stage. It qualifies in 3rd as well. So, yeah, this is a cracking round. Bocco's Diamond in 5, Cheap Sandwiches in 6. This was the moment of the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Seeing these 2 dogs, first and second favourite in the competition, go paw to paw. A short head between them in the end. A lot of people thought that he might have just got up, but we could see that Bocco's Diamond just held on in the end. There was only a length between them in the Irish Derby final. A short head there.
Oh, I can't wait. Honestly, cannot wait for this. I think Cheap Sandwiches, you know, we said in the first round, on the first night, we went, oh, proper dog.
Come on, ladies, fantastic.
Sorry, I just breathed. Apparently I can't do that. Oh, that'll teach me for breathing in while I'm trying to talk. Yeah, Cheap Sandwiches, we did say, was a proper dog in the first round, and he has shown that
Take 2.
so far.
We'll leave Danny to choke away for a minute. She's choking away. So yeah, we did say about how well balanced he was. Cheap Sandwiches ran the first 2 bends. He's shown that now in all 3 rounds. But we're going to have a look at Solomeo, who was winning last week, beating Churchfield, Sid, and also Dynamic Force in 2nd by 3 parts of a length. And it was Solomeo. When you see the head on, Danny, you see the Dynamic Force and Churchfield Sid. Dynamic Force just stopped Churchfield Sid getting that run. He moved off from 5 slightly, and he just stopped him getting that run. That allowed Solomeo to go clear. He went on to win by 3 parts of a length. He's unbeaten in the competition and been 6-1, 6-4, 5-2. So he's unbeaten through the competition. He's getting better. And you listen to Pete Cronin, he's very much like Kildare. He finished 2nd here behind Romeo Magico.
I'm back. So there's only 3 that are unbeaten in the competition so far. Solo Mio is one of them. And we have Droopy's Trade and Bocco's Diamond. Those are the other 2. They're coming out on parade for the Star Sports and TRC English Greyhound Derby 2025 first quarter final. Cannot wait for this. So, There is Droopy's Bookham Trap 1. Held his own with JT Craze in the first round, beat Droopy's Aladdin in the second, and ran well after trouble, as we saw in the VT last week, to qualify in third behind Bocco's Diamond. Cracking dog, and we'll be seeing probably over 6 bends in time, I think. Sole Mio, second in the Kirby. Cracking runs in all rounds so far. He's a proper toaster dog, this lad, and he's only a puppy for another day. 3 from 3 over here. Droopy's Aladdin took a big scalp in the first round when he beat Proper Heiress, beaten by a strong type last in the second round, and then he was back on track last week when he beat Keyfill Maverick. Of course, Droopy's Bookham beat him in the second round. Track 4 is March on Freddy, the Puppy Classic winner, Irish Derby semi-finalist. Not convinced he loves Toaster, but one thing we do know for sure is this lad gives it his all every single time and will be battling on in the closing stages. Track 5, Cheap Sandwiches, won well on slow ground in the first round, went 6 spots quicker in the second round, calculated, was just denied behind Bocco's Diamond last week, his old rival and kennel mate. And then the final bitch in the competition, Sing-Along Molly, was the eye-catcher of the first round. A very strong finish on that occasion, and shows she's taken to the track in the last 2 rounds because she's looking for a hat-trick. Cracking start to the Derby quarters.
Yeah, brilliant race. I'm with Cheap Sandwiches. I struggled to look past him. I thought he had a good draw. He's got March on Freddy inside him, who will lead if he comes away. Sing-Along Molly, he'll lead if he comes away. Sole Mio, very impressive last week. I think he'll move off from 2. You've then got Droopy's Aladdin, who's going to be edging in from 3. So Droopy's Bookham on the inside has been money for, was 14-1, into 8-1. Jason, who you with?
Well, the atmosphere, the atmosphere of the crowd here is fantastic. The English Derby, Star Sport TRC English Derby quarterfinal. Excuse me, I'm going to be rude. Who do you fancy in the next round?
Number 5.
Number 5, Cheap Sandwiches. Cheap Sandwiches there, coming through. Here's some likely lads. Who do you fancy next race?
Number 4, Marching. Marching Eddie.
March on Freddy and Cheap Sandwiches. And talking about who do you fancy, sir?
Oh, there's only one winner in there today. Cheap Sandwiches.
Cheap Sandwiches. Lots of love for Cheap Sandwiches here. And talking about lots of love, not Cheap Sandwiches, it's Hobbsy. Hobbsy, first of all, what are you doing here?
I'm just doing a little bit of it. You know me in a microphone. I love a microphone, so just doing a little bit of emceeing, getting a bit, crowd engagement, what have you. I thought I'd be working with you guys tonight, but I've been dispatched here. It's fantastic. Good crowd this evening. We're going to do the trap draw later on, so you haven't got rid of me completely.
Well, it's absolutely wonderful atmosphere here. We've got to go back to the studio. But who do you fancy for the first quarter final?
Well, I think just flexing their muscles, a couple of winners back to back, and I've got to go. Cheap Sandwiches is my nap. I think that run last week against Bocco's Diamond, sensational from them both. So has to be my vote. Although I'm a patriotic soul, I think they're going to win the Irish all 4 quarterfinals.
I'll paraphrase. Hobbsy's with the favourite.
Felt like Jason's nap at 8-15, was it?
So, Cheap Sandwiches is the one for Hobbsy. Let's hope that he can pop out and show us what he's made of. The favourite here, if you have lumped on, like plenty of you have, certainly in the chat.
Before we go to Darryl, all the very best to all 24 in the Star Sports TRC quarterfinals. May the best 12 get through. May they all come off safe and sound.
Couldn't have put it better myself, Joe. Darryl.
Here we are, very close, and aren't we, to qualification for the semis, and then who knows, 10 Irish runners, 14 UK runners left in. Graham Holland's got 4, Pat Jansen's got 4, Paul Henderson's got a couple, everyone else has got 1. You only need 1 to win the whole thing. Here's the hare. Cheap Sandwiches ran so well last week, warm favourite in the 5. Race away, didn't come away particularly well. Droopy's Aladdin, but now Cheap Sandwiches up on the outside is going to get a run. If they go to the corner, Sole Mio. Droopy's Bookham couldn't get that dream run into the corner, but he's up into a qualifying position. Sing-Along Molly now getting detached down the back. Cheap Sandwiches by 3, Sole Mio. Droopy's Bookham's creeping a little closer, slightly short of room on the inside. Then comes March on Freddy, trying to stay on. Still Cheap Sandwiches by a length, Sole Mio. Then Droopy's Bookham on the far side, picking up late. Cheap Sandwiches, Droopy's Bookham did a stack of running and has qualified with Sole Mio back in 3rd.
But I think Cheap Sandwiches is the real deal.
Cheap Sandwiches is the winner of our first Derby heat, and when I mean, he slightly missed it out the boxes, but we both kind of went, oof, when he started moving up into the first bend.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's done well to get around the bend. Troopers allowed him to come away, just couldn't clear. The head-on is going to be so intriguing, Danny, to see what's happened. Just slightly had his legs tucked away from there. 28.67, the winning time. Troopers book them. They would have been absolutely roars anywhere. Even if they don't win, the roar would have went up the minute he turned in that position, because he's definitely qualified.
Yeah.
He's been done at the third bend. In the end, he's been beat about half a length by Cheap Sandwiches. Solomia's ran a huge race as well after not leading. Full march on Freddie desperate. But what a performance, Cheap Sandwiches. He had his legs taken at the first bend. You just seen him maybe just get his legs done. Let's go to Emily, who's got Rachel with her.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, really, really good performance from Cheap Sandwiches in our first quarter-final. We'll take a walk back to the podium as we talk, Rachel, but obviously you've got 4 tonight, so perfect start.
Yeah, perfect start. We had Val Tashadelic win in the plate earlier on, 2-4 in the quarterfinals, and you're just hoping to qualify tonight. But he went and won it, so yeah, we're delighted with him.
I'd say so. Droopy's Bookham maybe made you sweat a little bit close to home, but like I say, you were through anyway, so a great result.
Yeah, at this stage, it's all about getting through. You know, we'd all take third place tonight, but Droopy's Bookham, he ran his heart out in second in the end, and yeah, it was a great race, and we're just delighted to get through.
Of course, a great buckle between him and Bucco's Diamond last week as well, but he's managed to get his head in front tonight, so he's looking good for the competition as well.
Yeah, he is. It was a great race last week. We were a bit worried going into it, but they definitely had a good buckle last week anyway, and it's lovely to see him get his head in front again tonight, so yeah, we're delighted.
And he certainly knows what the podium is by now at Chaser, so I'll let you go off and have your picture done with the trophy.
Perfect, thank you very much.
Superb. Cheap Sandwiches. Yes, he knows where the podium is. What a gorgeous, gorgeous lad he is. And look, I mean, he's tracked out well, to be fair, and he's gone up into the first bend, chopped everybody up. And, I mean, March on Freddie was a bit unlucky. Droopy's Aladdin hasn't quite managed to run the bend. And Sing Along Molly's the hard luck story of the race. She got into all sorts of bother on the first bend. But Cheap Sandwiches, I mean, as soon as he's turned in front, it was kind of game over, really.
Yeah, Droopy's Bookham stays all down. I'm seeing all the guys giving Tom a hug down here, and Ben. It's brilliant to see. That just shows what it means to make it through to the semi-final of the Star Sports TRC Ground Derby. But just looking at the head on here, Danny, we said it'd be intriguing. 2 Solomia's moving out. Droopy's Aladdin's trying to edge in. And Cheap Sandwiches, he'll be an even better dog in 6, by the way.
Yeah.
Because he's shown all sorts of speed. He's come off slightly towards lane 6. I feel so sorry for Droopy's Aladdin. He's half a length from going round second and probably qualifying in the end. But a great performance for Cheap Sandwiches, and fantastic for Tom Hilbron with Droopy's Bookham and Solomia, Pete Cronin. I'm delighted for Tom. You know, after everything that's happened, it's absolutely fantastic, and just seeing what it means to him. He said, you'll hear the biggest roar in the house if he finishes third. Yeah. He's always going to qualify, so I can just imagine what it was like on these steps with the owners and Tom in the middle of the track. Fair play to him. But this is an absolute champion, and if any dog deserves a competition, it's this lad.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at the love that the dog's getting as well, Cheap Sandwiches. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? You must wonder what goes through their minds when they've won, because you just think, I'm getting all this fuss, I'd get it anyway, but now I've got to go on a podium, and they're just having a wonderful day out, but they're just, you know, connections, thrilled.
Best
Great
animals
to see
in the world,
everybody's come
Danny.
off safe as well, which is always the main thing. But
Best animals in the world.
I just, wow. There's quite a few people that have said, you know, they've lumped on, put the mortgage on. Who owns it? The Tesco's meal deal owner, or who's named it? So, oh, he's having a good old drink there, his Cheap Sandwiches. Get a bottle of water with a meal deal.
Thoroughly deserved.
Oh. I mean, that's what we, you know, the dog's welfare comes first. Always have water at the podium. They'll then go into the kennels. They've got the air conditioning on in the kennels, especially on this kind of day.
And they'll have a bowl of water that they go in with into the kennel as well when they're resting.
And sometimes you can have a paddling pool. Just depends where you are. So they are looked after like kings, as we know. And what a run from that lad. I mean, I know it's not the quickest we've seen tonight, but wow. Jason.
What a performance that was by Cheap Sandwiches. Absolutely incredible. Dan Brown. Wow.
Wow is the word, yes. Yes, privileged to have a dog like him. It's a privilege.
And I saw you get quite rightly do some lovely stroking and patting afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had him when he was early years, and we sent him to Graham. Then we thought a lot of the dog. And he was a young puppy, just starting him off. And I said to one of the guys, the syndicate, David O'Brien, he's the money man, the syndicate. I said, David, we might have a Derby dog.
I think you've certainly got a Derby dog, and it's just so beautiful, poetry in motion.
He is well balanced. He's a lovely balance. Graham and the team in Riverside have done a fantastic job with him.
To ask, are you going to fill that up with anything?
We'll wait until next week now, we'll take a chance. I'm flying solo for the syndicate tonight, so I hope next week we'll have a good turnout.
Well, he's just had a very good drink and he's just going back for a well-earned rest now, but you'll be back next week.
We'll be back next week.
Thrilling prospect.
Thrilling prospect. Thanks very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks a million. Thank you.
Thrilled connections as Cheap Sandwiches wins in a time of 28.67 at 8-11 favourite. We've got our first three qualifiers for the semis. Droopy's Bookham in trap 1, second at 8-2. Soleil Mio qualifies at 3-1.
Bet clever. Bet Goodwin. Proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs.
Concave, Nick Cave, Bat Cave, all great caves, but not as good as the Fan Cave. Done it a lot in horse racing, come Greyhound racing now. Here's the man behind it all, Tom Mackerel. Hello, Tom.
Hello, great intro firstly, love that.
Oh, thank you very much. How's it going tonight?
Yeah, really good. So, I mean, what we try and do is make sure we get as much content out for punters that want to have a bet. So whether it's owners coming in, trainers coming in, we've done loads of tips and talks with Ryan and Joe Keneally, and yeah, it's been pretty well received. You know, we've done a fair bit in horse racing so far, and we've just come over to do the very first night tonight in Greyhounds, and yeah, it's a really great crowd, very different to horse racing, but you know, we've really enjoyed it.
And I imagine your overwhelming thought is that Joe could do with a shave?
Yeah, well, he's picked some good winners, though, so that's all I care about.
They're shrewd, those Keneally boys. Anyway, thanks to Tom. Now, the star and glamour of the show, we've got Izzy Phillips here. Izzy, I was talking to Tom, and he said, the poor girl is starving. Have they not fed you?
Not yet. Our food voucher's just arrived though, so I can't wait. I'm going to go to the Greek outside. It's going to be lovely.
Oh, excellent. I know you've done a lot of work in horse racing before, but is it your first time Greyhound racing?
No, not my first time at all. I absolutely love the Greyhounds. I used to go with my family years ago. We used to go to Walthamstow, Henlow, Peterborough, but they've obviously closed them now. So I actually kind of got back into it a little bit last year when I came to the Derby here, and then Tom invited me to do this, and I thought absolutely, because I do love Greyhound racing. It is great.
Well, it's a really great setup, and there's been an awful lot of positive feedback. And I know that you're not back next week, but
Matty Batchelor is next week.
Well, I said this to Tom earlier. It's ladies' night tonight, but they've got a Bachelor next week, and then Tony Cotty for the final week.
Absolutely. So I think it's going to be a big week, the final week. Obviously, you've got fantastic with Tony Cotty, so it's all going to be so exciting. So I know that they've got a lot of plans for next week to get the fans involved, maybe beat the tipster competitions. There's some exciting things on the cards, I think.
Izzy, you're an absolute superstar. Thanks, and for Christ, can you do me one favour? Eat something!
I'm going to, thank you.
Brilliant, thank you so much.
She's brilliant. I was talking to Izzy before the show, and she's a full-time head of school for children with learning difficulties. So
Fantastic.
That's what she does most of the time, and then the rest of the time she indulges her horse racing, F1, and now Greyhound
She is the
racing.
racing moment on Twitter, isn't she? So yeah, give her a follow, the racing moment on X. I think she's a big NFL fan as well.
Yes, that's the other one. Yeah, I couldn't quite remember which one it was. Not a sport I love, but F1 I can absolutely get on board with. Right, we have only got 3 more races to come, and we've also got more of Jason.
Thanks, Danny. And more importantly, we've got Pat Jansen's 4 in, 3 in the same race. Get to that in a minute. First of all, Romeo Empire.
Yeah, he's in good form. Listen, he's very pacey from halfway. He needs a bit of luck around the first 2 bends, really. So if he gets a run in behind, he'd be there or thereabouts, you know what I mean? But he's in very good form, very good form.
And then moving on to the 4th quarter, I did make a joke earlier on. I wouldn't have been wanted to be within swinging distance of you when this draw came out. Plunge, Droopy's Trade, and Slick Sentinel in there.
Yeah, they're all class acts, you know what I mean? Plunge probably has the hardest draw because take a step to the right. But if he can out-trap one, he'll be okay because he'll go left himself. But Droopy Straight is where he wants to be, really, and so is the 6 dog, you know, the Sentinel dog. So, but then with Bocco's Diamond, and yeah, but they're all in great form, you know what I mean? So it's all on the night, really, and finish first 3, that will do. First 3 will do.
And you've done so thrillingly well throughout the Derby. It just seems that we talk to you more than anyone else because you've done so well. And all 4 in with the live chance and then going on from that. How have they been at home from the last week?
Yeah, very good, very good. All these dogs, like I thought Slick Sentinel last week, you could see before sort of the home straight he was sort of struggling a bit. But last week of the last bend he ran away from dogs and he's coming to form, you know what I mean? He definitely is coming to form. I thought the plunge dog ran a master race, really. He got clipped his back legs at the first bend and from halfway very, very strong. And the trade dog sort of went down on his nose a bit and he barged his way through, and when Hello Diego turned second to him, I thought we're in trouble here, but he just held on, and yeah, they're all in great form, come out of the race as well, they're fine, no issues. So
brilliant, Pat, best of luck.
Thank you.
So nice, you dancing or what tonight?
Well, we are back in the studio here at Toaster for Gone to the Dogs Live. This is the lineup for our next quarter-final. We've got Trap 1, Romeo Empire 7s, 2 No Better Feeling 33s, Trap 3, My Nap, Da-la-di-da, 2-1 on, I know. Trap 4, Churchfield Sid at 4s, 5, Hello Diego 12s, and 6 is Tiffield Tarquin at 6-1. So, 6 go paw to paw shortly for quarter-final number 2, but in quarter-final number 4, we have Bubbly Charger, who Steve flew in, is in with a chance, I think, even though he's got Bocco's Diamond.
Well, you're always in with a chance of qualifying because first 3 qualify. So it's a 50-50 shot, but if you're talking about winning, it's a tad tougher when you're up against an odds-on favourite that's a sensational Greyhound. But our trainer is very confident that we're going to run well. There's been a lot of speculation this week that Trap 1 may or may not be the right trap for a Bubbly Charger, but when you just come out the hat, you're just pleased to be in that race. So, whatever draw.
You must be delighted with how he's gone through the campaign, though, Steve. He's getting better and better. Second to Tiffield Tarquin in the first round. Since then, he's won both, and he was so impressive last week beating Bombay Pat, weren't he?
Well, he's just a baby, really, in real terms, because this is, I think this is the 8th race tonight, or 9th race. He obviously ran over in Ireland and went very well. Then he's come over, and apart from the first race where he got beat, he's then won the next 2. I saw his coat last week close up on the podium, and he's still got that puppy coat. So who knows? He just could have more to come. But we'll find out a bit more tonight.
Yeah, and that Kirby form is really standing up. We've just seen Solomio qualify there. He was third in that race beyond Fate Point Range. Now, look how good the winner might be, absolutely anything. He's an aeroplane. That form always does stand up, though, doesn't it?
There's never a bad Kirby. It's second only to the Irish Derby. It's the biggest competition outside of the Irish Derby. All the best dogs are going in for it, and then they qualify, and then hopefully they come on to the English Derby. So yeah, the form's there. We're there. And we've got Trap 1, so we have a chance.
Steve, thank you very much. All the very best. If anyone deserves a Derby finalist, it is yourself, so all the very best.
Thank you very much. Thanks guys.
Steve.
Thank you very much.
Right, we have got Trap 1 here, Romeo Empire in the second quarter-final, and that is, he was third in the British Breeders' Stakes final. 6 bends definitely in his future, and from the last 3 weeks, we can definitely see why, because he's been staying on like a train. Trap 2, No Better Feeling. Esther Driver's already had a winner this evening. Second in the Puppy Classic, ran a cracker in the first round to win, and he could clear Romeo Empire and surprise again by qualifying here, or maybe even winning, you never know. There's Da-la-di-da, last year's champion, won in the fastest time in the competition in the first round. He ran a cracker behind Ballinabola Joe in the second, and then got back on track last week with a split sub 4 seconds. Trap 4, the old boy, Churchfield Sid, 3 Cat 1 wins to his name. He was 4th last year, battled well in the first round, battled well last week. He absolutely routed them in the first 2 rounds, and I just think he's an absolute superstar. Got Hello Diego and Tiffield Tarquin as well, but nervous Greyhounds. So Hello Diego loves it here, impressive off the pace in the maiden derby. Tiffield Tarquin 2 from 3 in the comp so far, and it would be a cracking for the McColls. This is Da-la-di-da.
Yeah, what a story to be. Tiffield Tarquin getting through to the semi-final for Roy Peckham. and the McColls. But a great performance here from Delardi-Da in round 3. Come together there with Bannabola Joe, but he managed to ride that wave and still come out in front off the third bend. Went on to win well in the end. No better feeling staying on with March on Freddie, who we sadly lost. We've got no better feeling in 2 here. I need Romeo Empire to qualify. He's got a good draw in 1. Hopefully he can. But I'm with Churchfield Sid. He was around 13-2, 7-1 in the week. I thought that was too big. I think we'll see a flying start from him. And if he does, I can see him leading. But we all want Delardi-Da. We all want Delardi-Da in the semi-final. We want him in the final.
Yeah.
The story's fantastic.
Now we're going to watch Hello Diego and Tiffield Tarquin, 2nd and 3rd. But this was a cracker for Hello Diego, who is just a really strong finisher.
Yeah, this was Droopy's Trade in 1, who's shown all sorts of speed to lead and go around in front. It was then Hello Diego. I thought Hello Diego had won from here when he turned in that position. I thought he was going to go and win. He didn't manage to do so. Was beat a short head in the end. Tiffield Tarquin stayed on really well to be only be beat a length in the end in 3rd. So 3 strong qualifiers. As the Greyhounds are going in the boxes, we're going to go to Darryl. Darryl, call them home for us.
Thank you very much, Joe. Yes, it's 2nd quarter-final time, isn't it? 3 qualification places have already been secured, but there are 9 more chances to come back next week. Delardi-Da 8-15, did touch 1-2. There's been money for this Churchfield Sid, not surprisingly. Has sort of stepped inwards a little bit when drawn in 6, so 4 might not be a bad place for last year's finalist. The hair is very close to the boxes. Star Sports, TRC English, Greyhound Derby, 2nd quarter. Race away from the boxes. Churchfield Sid does customarily go to the front and leads round from Delardi-Da. Will have to give chase from 2nd place now. Pushed down wide, Hello Diego. Up into 3rd goes No Better Feeling. And then Tiffield Tarquin, Romeo Empire at the back. Then is Hello Diego. They're racing down towards home. Churchfield Sid, but now Delardi-Da is trying to close. A length and a half away in 2nd. No Better Feeling is in 3rd. They're off the bench still. Churchfield Sid. Delardi-Da is trying to pick up. Churchfield Sid still there. Delardi-Da closing all the way. Oh, it got so tight. Delardi-Da laying it down to Churchfield Sid. Might have got up late on. Probably No Better Feeling back in 3rd.
Oh my word.
Oh my word, what a finish. Ooh, I'm not sure if Delardi-Da has managed to get up to beat Churchfield Sid. We are going to wait for the judge, but you know what I'm thrilled about?
No better feeling
Has qualified. 3's got up. Delardi-Da, the winner, beats Churchfield Sid. No Better Feeling in 3rd place. What a superb effort. Oh, they've decided to run around the track.
That'll be tough.
So there's the freeze of the finish. 3 just. Delardi-Da has managed to close down Churchfield Sid. No Better Feeling in 3rd place. Unbelievable effort from Delardi-Da and Sid, to be fair. And I'm just thrilled for Esther Driver.
Oh, what a story. That's what this derby does, doesn't it, Danny? No Better Feeling. A massive prize today. He's managed to get through to the 3rd semi-final of the Greyhound Derby. We see him come away here. We thought we'd get a bingo break out of Sid. He's 2 lengths clear at the winning line. First time round Churchfield Sid. He's still got that brute early speed. And look, he's in another semi-final. In with Delardi-Da. And just down the far side, he got to within, what, half a length, 3/4 of a length of him going into the 3rd bend. He stays well, Churchfield Sid. He's still staying on. But we've still got Delardi-Da there. Romeo Empire, desperate not to get through. Just couldn't get a run. But No Better Feeling. What a story. And what a cracking race. We've had 2 brilliant quarter-finals so far.
We have. We're not quite at the semi-final stage yet. Oh, what a superb run. 28.81 is the time from just slightly off the pace. This is just superb. I mean, Churchfield Sid, I'd love to see the split time on this, because he is absolutely bolted out the boxes, as he usually does. And we said, didn't we, track 4, not going to prove any kind of problem for Sid.
I thought it'd get him out better, and that's exactly what's happened. He's bombed out of the boxes. He really has. But the problem is, Danny, he had Delardi-Da going with him into the trap. So, yeah, that was a cracking run from Churchfield Sid. A brilliant run for Delardi-Da to catch him. And a No Better Feeling. What a story. They must be so proud of this Greyhound to get through to the semi-final. You know, he hasn't had his own way there. We're watching the head on here. And Romeo Empire's trying to edge out. He's trying to come in. Just got enough early to clear him. Let's go to Emily, because Emily, what a race.
What a race indeed. Really, really good battle between Churchfield Sid and Delardi-Da. They've come together a few times, Liam, and Delardi-Da's always got the better of him, and that's happened again this week.
Yeah, look, it's fantastic to make the last 12. Great race, great race. You know, the lads' dog was gone. I thought took this dog quite a while. He couldn't make up his mind at the third bin whether he go inside or outside. But a great thrilling finishing into the line, and I didn't get the time, but the time is immaterial now these days once we're in the hat for the last 12.
Exactly, he's just an absolute warrior, isn't he? And he seems to be trapping so well, and when he's sort of turning second, then he's not getting knocked out. So it's looking fairly good for the final, I would say.
I missed the trap rise there, to be honest. I didn't think he came out as he did last week, but look, we're not worried about traps now at this stage, but once he's through, we got a week to... He's 3.5, you know, he's getting slightly older, but at the same time, he has a great heart all the time, and touch wood, touch wood.
He's a champion. Really, really glad to see him still in the competition. Well done, Liam.
For last year alone, you know, he's here and he's coming back to defend that title, and he's not letting the side down yet anyway, so we're delighted. Thanks.
Certainly not letting the side down. Well done, Liam. Da-la-di-da, a champion, maybe once again this year.
He is one step closer. Da-la-di-da has won in a time of 28.81, 8-15 favourite. Churchfield Sid 5-1 in second. No better feelings on an absolute burster in third.
Into the semi-finals as well, Esther. Someone reminded me a little bit earlier.
Now there is the scene near the presentation area where there's plenty of people who are buzzing around. Just to say as well, Ashley Williams has texted me to say Druids All Go did a stopper bone, but perfectly fine is the vet's update. So that is from the vet's office, from Polly. Druids All Go's done a stopper bone, but is perfectly fine and is comfortable. So that's the best news that we can receive. There he is, wet. Very, very wet, da-la-di-da. He certainly looks better than he did last week when we were slightly concerned. Maybe he just had a bit of a nervy moment. He does, you know, he's a champion. He knows what he's doing, but what a superb dog he is, da-la-di-da. Both mine and Ashley's naps have landed. Yours has landed. Jason's has landed.
Hobbs' landed. Cheap sandwiches.
Well.
Clean sweep.
So just waiting for Daryl's.
Daryl's.
I've forgotten. He'll tell us in a bit. Bocco's Diamond. No, joking, I can't remember. Sorry, Daryl. But there is the scene. Superb effort. Plenty of comments as well. Loads of people getting involved on the chat on YouTube. You have to be a subscriber to get involved with the chat. So if you're not a subscriber already, then make sure you do so.
Bet Goodwin, proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs. Bet clever, bet Goodwin.
The final, what a race it promised to be. House of Hope in 1, Spartacus in 2, the Johnny Norman 3, the favourite Whisper Wish in 4, Mullins Peak from Ireland in 5, Proud Dodger from Ireland in trap 6.
Away they go when Whisper Wishes in 4 gets a good break with Moransby from 5. Then comes in 1 House of Hope as they go around that first bend. Whisper Wishes been trouble around the back there. Spartacus checks up badly as they go down the far side. And it's Whisper Wishes 2 lengths clear from Moransby in second. Then comes House of Hope, who's being challenged all the time by the Johnny Norman. Then comes Proud Dodger as they go around the second last bend. And it's still Whisper Wishes, but being pressed now on the outside by Moransby off the final bend. Whisper Wishes headed by a length from Moransby. Then comes Proud Dodger finishing well. But Whisper Wishes just holds on there, and it's very tight in the second.
Well, that was the final Greyhound Derby at White City. So we brought you the final one at Wimbledon and the final one at White City this evening. Aren't you lucky? Right, we are back to Jason. I think you're in your element with this one, Jason.
Thank you, Danny. I am dress competition, and first of all, I'm coming to present this lady called the Mum. Mum?
I'm the momager.
I thought you better Angelina Jolie.
Oh my God, I literally want to marry you right now. No, none of these are my children, but I wish I had them. They are beautiful girls, inside and out, non-pretensive, you know, and very humble, and that's what makes them beautiful.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Angelina couldn't have done it better. Now we're going to go down the line. First of all, we've got
Amelia.
You had a competition as well?
I did, yes.
Didn't win?
No, I didn't, but my beautiful best friend did.
Oh, you see, joint winners. I would have had 3 winners. Absolute travesty. And also we've got here Rose, and you entered as well?
Yes, I did. We're also, she's my best friend as well. So.
She seems like she's everybody's best friend. I've got to meet this girl. And here is our winner. You are...
Gabby.
Gabby Brown, the winner.
Yes.
Now, give us a twirl. There you are. That's you. In fact, because I think you were all joint winners, all four of you in line. Give us a twirl. The best dressed girls. Give me 5 minutes and I'll see what else I can get them to do.
Oh, you need more than 5 minutes.
The shocked faces there, Jason having a great time. Right, Star Sports, Showtime guarantee. Our thanks to Star Sports for bringing you the Gone to the Dogs live show this evening. We guarantee to lay any dog to win $5,000 on the show in any Star Sports Greyhound Derby heat. And we have got just a couple left for you this evening. Just 2 more races to come on the show tonight. And don't forget, we do have the draw coming up as well. Right, we're going to have the lineup of the third quarter-final. Daryl, who's racing?
Let's have a look at them from the top then. Faye Point Harvey in trap 1, of course, for Graham Holland, Patricia Flanagan. Graham looking for his second qualifier. He's doubly represented. Bombay Pat as well. We'll get to that one in a second. 1 Slick Jamie is one of the grounds yet to win a heat. It might come good here. How well has he done for Paul Merchant thus far? Trap 2 at a big price. Prince Nassim also looking to break his Derby duck here for Maxine Locke, running out of trap 3 for owner Kim Bergen, 7-1. Bombay Pat is the second Graham Holland runner in this particular heat, drawn in trap 4. Of course, the 11-8 favourite, been a little bit uneasy in the market through the day. Dynamic Force gets my nap selection. I loved his work behind Solomeo last week, and I don't think there's too much stamina in this race. I think he might be able to pounce late for Paul Hennessy. And New In Benny, Derek now only had 1 runner in the Derby. He's still got 1 runner. New In Benny on the outside at 14-1.
So 3 wide seeds in quarterfinal number 3, going off at 8:57 this evening. Favourite Bombay Pat in trap 4. Now we have seen Rachel Holland on social media, on the show tonight. We are going to roll some social media footage because this is from Rachel. She's put on footage of all the dogs at home. There's March on Freddie. He, of course, is now out. Droopy's Aladdin, the same actually. But look at them having the zoomies. No better feeling he's through to the semi-finals. Prince Nazim, he's yet to race. He'll be in the next race with us. Droopy's Bookham. I thought it was Brinkley's Louis who was the loony in that one. 1 Slick Jamie, very chilled. And Tiffield Tarquin as well. What a cracking video this is. Bombay Pat, he's in the next. He's in trap 4, destroying a penguin. There's the champ, Bucco's Diamond from Ireland, absolutely loving life. Cheap Sandwiches, who's seen him on the podium already this evening. Hello Diego, Dynamic Force, you know, all the superstars. Sing Along Molly, she's out unfortunately, so it is going to be a dog who wins the Greyhound Derby this year at Toaster Racecourse. Beautiful sunset over Toaster, and the favourite here, trap 4, Bombay Pat, 11-10. If he'd won last week, it would have been a little bit shorter because he's been so quick out the boxes in his first couple of rounds. He was a 4:09 last week behind Bubbly Charger, who's in the final quarterfinal this evening. I'll tell you what, we're going to have a look at Faye Point Harvey in action. Was second last week in Heat 7 behind Sing Along Molly, only beaten half a length, but managed to lead into the first bend. And you'd think we'll probably do the same thing again today. He's put one of the fastest splits on the board, 3:95, when he was second behind Cheap Sandwiches in the second round. He put a 4:02 split on this occasion, and he's just picked up by Sing Along Molly, who comes through. And it was only a matter of time before he was picked up really by this bitch, because she's very, very strong in a finish. But Faye Point Harvey was just denied in the closing stages in the end, and he goes in box 1 this evening. And I think he's going to be able to ping, because he has done one of the faster splits from the inside draw already. So 11-10 for Bombay Pat. It's 9-4 for Faye Point Harvey. 100-30 Dynamic Force. And here is Bombay Pat, who was in Heat 2 last week in the striped jacket. Came second behind Bubbly Charger, who made every single yard of the running. and was beaten 2 lengths in the end. Showed a bit of early pace himself, Bombay Pat. He's an Irish Derby semi-finalist. Will he make the English Derby semis? We will have to wait and see if he pings again, because he did 4:11 in the first round, 4 in the second round, 4:09 last week. So he's pretty consistent, to be fair, out the boxes. He was just beaten 4 pace into the first bend. So they are taking a fair bit of cash down in the betting ring here at well, it's not a betting ring, is it? A betting line at Toaster this evening, and they are beautiful. Oh, the floodlights are on. The floodlights are on because the sun is going down here at Toaster. We've only got 2 more races to come on the show, and don't forget, Hobbsy will be doing the draw live for the semi-finals, and we'll be back again next week. Our thanks to Bet Goodwin and Star Sports for sponsoring the show this evening and bringing you the action from Toaster. Our thanks as well to everyone that's tuning in. We've got, well, I think we've had about 3,000 people watching at our peak, so thank you very much. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so, because we do have, well, we've got plenty of content on there. You won't miss an episode, you won't miss a podcast. They're all going on there as well. We've got plenty of content going through onto the YouTube channel, and just means you can get involved with the chat as well. Right, they're about to come out on parade. We've heard the, I was going to say a siren, it's not a siren, it's the jingle, I guess, for the cue for everyone to turn their attentions to the track and see who is coming out on parade. And there they are. There's Chris Clark, who is our starter and general jack of all trades here at Toaster, I think. But he's been the starter throughout the competition, and those that are superstitious amongst us will not want it to change throughout the rest of it. So we're up to our penultimate race of the evening. Track 4, Bombay Pat Evans has been attracting a fair bit of support. 5-2. Fay Point Harvey's just eased out slightly. Dynamic Force 100-30. Not much change in the betting apart from Bombay Pat, who's gone and had that little bit of support. So Fay Point Harvey's gone further than both Derby campaigns last year. Should probably lead again, but can he hold on to a semi-final spot? He's in against some strong stayers in his quarter-final. Track 2, One Slick Jamie is a solid Irish grader. He's now 1 from 4 in the UK. He's stayed on well. He could just keep sneaking through. He's one of those greyhounds that is very, very consistent. Track 3, Prince Nazim, was loads of money for him last week. He came 3rd behind Droopy's Aladdin. He had 8 wins in Ireland for Sean Conway. He was well held by Bombay Pat in the second round, but he was slow to go. He got a crowd last time, but he was very, very quick in a finish, and his ears are up. He's ready to go. Track 4, Bombay Pat has only faltered once on these shores. He obviously reached the Irish Derby semi, won well in the first 2 rounds, just beaten by an improver, Bubbly Charger, last week. Dynamic Force has been mixing it with Top Company in Ireland, won well in the first 2 rounds and was only just denied by Soleil Mio, who's qualified earlier on. And Trap 6, New in Benny's a Sussex Cup winner. He knows how to win these comps. Only lightly raced this year, won in the first round. He's bumped into 2 easy winners since with Keyfield Maverick and Slick Sentinel. Right, we're going to go back to Jason.
Yeah, I've not had a chance to speak to the boys tonight. Don't know how it's going. They are working out. Lofty, very quick word.
Velocity. No, we are losing, Jace, on the earlier races. But to load the la-di-da there, and we were desperate to lay the cheap sandwiches dog earlier on. We actually won on that race. But yeah, we're still behind, but it's busy enough, and trying to get this favourite in again. And the last favourite as well, Bocco. So we'll keep going.
Appreciate that. Keep smiling.
It's always smiling.
Lofty, always smiling in the betting ring, and I was trying to remember what it was called, and Frank said, "Danny, it's a fanfare." Thank you, Frank, because I'd forgotten what the jingle or whatever it was that they have when they come out on track. Joe, who do you fancy?
I fancy Fay Point Harvey. Look, there's a lot of talk about Bombay Pat and the misspray that he puts in. Is that the one he done last week? Look, still done a 4:09, so he hasn't walked out of the boxes, but we know what he's capable of, so that's the thing now, Danny. We're kind of, you expect so much of these greyhounds that when they do that, people get disappointed by it. So he's done that, but I'm with Fay Point Harvey. He's without putting a jinx on it, he's the most consistent dog out of track 1 here.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
In terms of breaking, so I hope I haven't put a jinx on that, because I've backed him in 40-1 after the draw last week. So yeah, I'm with Fay Point Harvey, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Bombay Pat lead all the way in a cracking race. Good luck to all 6.
Darryl, who do you like in this?
Well, I'm napping Dynamic Force, Danny, here, and hope that he can continue his good work from last week, where he ran fantastically well behind Solo Mio, and I think he can turn handy. And then maybe just put that stamina into play. But here we are with 3 Irish dogs, 3 runners from this side of the water already through 4 railers and 2 wide seats. 6 more places up for grabs. And of course, the big favourites quartet is on, isn't it? Cheap Sandwiches in, Delardy Dart has gone in. Is Bombay Pat about to do the same here for those who've acred up the big 4 here? Here comes the hare, 3rd quarter, race away. Dynamic Force has put the early speed to the race. Goodness me, has gone to the front from Bombay Pat here as they go around the first couple of bends. On the outside, Nguyen Benny has turned 3rd, then Prince Nassim. A little gap back to Faye Point Harvey, who couldn't lead and therefore was in trouble. One Slick Jamie is at the rear. Dynamic Force by 3. Bombay Pat, though, is creeping ever closer as they go towards the final bend. So Dynamic Force boxing on here for Paul Hennessy. Leads by a couple from Bombay Pat. Won't be caught tonight. Dynamic Force. Dynamic run. Bombay Pat. Prince Nassim is coming back next week.
Well, that's all the naps in. Dynamic Force was the biggest priced of the lot, and well done to Darryl, calling him home and keeping his cool like the pro he is.
That'll be a time as well.
That will be a time. That was impressive. Dynamic Force, he'd been mixing it with Top Company in Ireland. I mean, he won well in the first 2 rounds and was only just undone by Soleil Mio last week, so he's back on track this week. He's absolutely pinged out the boxes, and that was that. Super.
Wait for the time, yeah, cracking run from Dynamic Force. Apologies. 28.66 we're hearing. Look, we've said about Faye Point Harvey, and he puts in his worst break at the worst time, and he still finished 4th. He would have absolutely 100% qualified.
Yeah.
But we're going to hear from Emily Hughes. That's a brilliant run, Emily, 28.66. You've got a trainer there in fantastic form.
Certainly have got a trainer in fantastic form and a dog in fantastic form as well. Dynamic Force, winner of our 3rd semi-final. We'll have a walk back to the talk and walk. Paul, very impressive. I mean, he absolutely flew out, didn't he?
Yeah, he winged it. So it's great when you do that. You know that yourself. When your dog comes out, it's kind of happy days after that, you know what I mean? So it makes life an awful lot easier. And especially at this level. But he's a good dog. You know, he's fierce determined. There's only one thing in his head, that's go until he falls down. And I'm delighted for his owners. They're here tonight. They won't have slept all week. They won't have eaten all week. Honest to God, one of them can hardly. I think he stands with his back to the race, Brendan.
Now they've got another week of doing that.
Yeah, and it's wonderful. You know yourself, like, you'd give anything for that kind of a buzz. It's horrible. You can't. Your stomach is all. Like, look, I'm okay. I'm used to it this time. But these guys get an unbelievable kick out of it, and for that is wonderful. It's great.
Definitely, and he had obviously a great dog turn behind him in Bombay Pat, but never looked like getting to him. And I think sort of with every run round Toaster, he's just looked better and better.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Like, look, we left him off, I suppose, for this event this year. We brought him back a little bit early, and he got a little scratch on his pad, and that held us up for 2 or 3 weeks. So we said, look, we'd leave it. And in fairness, he got a very good break. And he was that far in front of Bombay Pat, nearly out of the traps, because Bombay Pat's a top-class dog. So, look, he's a fair dog himself, you know. He's a good dog.
Definitely, he's run great. Many congratulations, and I'll let you go get your picture done with him.
Thank you. God bless you.
Such a nice bloke. Such a great bloke, Paul. He really is, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, look at this run. Dynamic Force absolutely scorched into the first bend. Bombay Pat in behind. He's just settled in behind him. I mean, Dynamic Force run an absolute burster here for Paul Hennessy. Bombay Pat's in 2nd. And Prince Nazim, there was loads of money for him last week. He is through to the semi-finals. I mean, he's had 8 wins in Ireland. He's never won over here, Prince Nazim, and he's through to the semis of the Derby.
They had Kim Bergin on the Twitter space last night, and it was a brilliant listening to. It was fantastic. You just see, you can hear the emotion. You can't see her face, but you can hear the emotion when she talks about the dog, and she'll be in Ireland now, absolutely screaming the place down wherever she is. So congratulations to her, and also Maxine Locke, who's got a semi-finalist. Her fantastic 24 months continues. She's got a semi-finalist in the Derby now, Maxine Locke. But this dog here, Dynamic Force, looking at Phil Milner's clocks, he's been coming home as quick as anything from the 3rd bend. So he was never going to be for catching, was he, when he's led down here? And Bombay Pat's ran a burster in defeat again. He really has run a cracker in defeat. Just a great performance, a great run in the hands of a master.
I just can't believe what I've seen with Dynamic Force. Absolutely superb once again. He has just ripped open the bars there, come straight under them, and that was that. Game over for the rest of the field. And like you say, there's plenty of stats out there on the old social media sphere, and one of the best are those sectionals into the third bend, coming home and all that, and they're absolutely brilliant because they just tell you exactly what the dogs are doing all the way around the track. And I think, you know, it'd be great if we could do that for every, you know, race, but I don't. Well, we've probably got the tech
It'd be nice to have a
somewhere.
clock here, wouldn't it? I think it will be in line. That's of course, you know, with Mike and the plans, that will definitely be in line, having a clock. But Jason, who you got?
What a performance that was by Dynamic Force. I'm sorry, I just walked past there, Steve. There, Ian, I'm after Ian Cunningham, the owner. Don't run away from me.
How are you? How are you getting on? Unbelievable, unbelievable. We travelled over from Ireland tonight. We haven't been here for the first few rounds. Obviously, he won the first two. Ran a blinder last week in defeat. We were very hopeful. He's improving every week. The Hennessy's are doing an unbelievable job as always. And we're over the moon. And it's a pleasure to be here and a privilege to be in this competition.
Well, it's a privilege to witness a performance like that, and every week to build on basically an exceptional performance every week. It's almost scary good.
Now, this dog, we always believed in him. We always knew he could do what he's doing here in the Derby. Last year he won a big competition down in Cork. He ran brilliantly up in Dundalk. We brought him to the Irish Derby. He won the first round. He probably got a little bit tired, and we felt the break did him the world of good. But we believed he could come here and do something special, and he's proved us right so far. And I said it's a pleasure to be here.
Before the presentation, I wanted to talk to Susan. Speak to the boys. Speak to the boys. I cannot not speak to you.
Thank you. I was just over the moon. We're thrilled. After seeing poor Diego going out, everything was hinging on Dino, and he absolutely, I'm so proud of him. He ran the super race last week. I was absolutely thrilled with the race that he ran. And when he came out there tonight and backed it up, that just, I love to see the dog getting the credit. So, it's great to be here. It's wonderful.
Well, when you talk about Derby pedigree, nobody's got a better Derby pedigree than you. A wonderful performance. Thanks for sharing it. Paul, I'm just going to give a wink because we had a nice chat earlier on. Wonderful performance.
Thank you very much. Thanks again.
Oh, what a beautiful sunset. Dynamic Force 28.66, 3-1. Beats Bombay Pat 6-5 favourite in second, and Prince Nazim is through at 8-1.
I'm lost. I'm getting plenty encouragement coming home.
Oh, thanks to Bet Goodwin. You can see 50% back on first day losses up to a £25 free bet. Have a look at the T's and C's. Gamble aware, of course, and it is 18 plus, and our thanks to Bet Goodwin. Now, this is the last trip down memory lane. We're off to 1983.
Here at the traps, and the race is on, and straight away it's the 4 dog on Slippy, got a great break. Also with Game Ball, the two of them run into that first bend, but at times Slippy got out in front of Game Ball. I'm Slippy still leads out of that first bend down into the second bend. I'm Slippy, the 4 dog leads the 2 dog Game Ball, and also closing up is the 3 dog on Spec. And at the moment it is the 4 dog, I'm Slippy, still out in front from Game Ball, with the 3 dog closing up on Spec. Up to the line, the 3 dog and the 4 dog, and it's very close. I certainly couldn't separate them. I would think maybe the 4 dog got it by a nose. It has to go to a photo. I'm Slippy ran a cracker of a race. The 3 dog was there on Spec, and so also was Brian's dog Game Ball.
Can't believe it was run on grass. Just to say as well, I was speaking to the Dynamic Force Connections beforehand because I was just sat in my little corner doing some work, and they came over to say, 1, we love the show, and 2, they were so nervous, and they just kept saying, we don't even know if we can eat because we're so nervous, but we just want him to get through, and then he's done what he's done. So absolutely sensational, and we've only got 1 left. I can't believe we've only got 4 races left in the Derby.
Yeah, then the come down then after the final night, isn't it? You got to wait another year for it, but yeah, look, it's been an unbelievable Grand Derby so far. It's not finished yet, Danny. We've got a cracking race to finish here.
We do. So let's have a look at who we have in the lineup, because this is a belter to finish off the card. Bubbly Charger 9-2, Droopy's Plunge 8-1, Droopy's Trade 9-2, Keyfield Maverick 16-1. I think he's massive. Bocco's Diamond 8-11, and Slick Sentinel at 12-1. Plenty of people saying that Keyfield Maverick could hold Bocco's Diamond up into the first bend. Slick Sentinel obviously will move off ever so slightly. So what's going to help move in, should I say? So I don't think it's as clear-cut as we think it's going to be.
No, that's why I was still in the cheap sandwiches camp beforehand, because of the quarterfinal he had just looked a little bit easier on paper. Look, he's had to work hard, cheap sandwiches, and this all depends what Bocco's Diamond does out of the boxes.
Yeah.
If he traps level, he'll lead and he'll win. If he doesn't come away level and Slick Sentinel traps, he might be in a little spot of bother, but this was last week.
And he was down on his belly out the boxes.
Yeah, and this is cheap sandwiches in 6.
Yeah.
So to peck slightly out of the boxes and still lead cheap sandwiches, and he doesn't stop here at the second bend, he goes into the third bend still, but so does cheap sandwiches. It was a brilliant buckle. That's why they are first and second in the betting for the competition. It was a cracking race, only shorter between them in the end.
Yeah.
A length between them in the Irish Derby final. It's getting closer, but they've avoided each other, and now Graham and Nikki, Rachel, they'll all just be wanting to get through.
They will. I cannot wait to see Bocco's Diamond again. I do think Keyfield Maverick might be able to hold him up into that first bend. Oh, I don't know. There's loads of conflicting views as well on the YouTube live chat, and plenty of people are saying that they've enjoyed the show as well, which is always good. So thank you very much for being with us. And no, it's not on every week. Someone was asking if it's on every day. It's on every week at the moment to cover the Derby, and then we cover quite a lot of the big races throughout the year as well. But there are plans in the future.
Yeah, there are plans.
So watch this space and subscribe to the channel. So, Slick Sentinel, obviously the biggest loser in the book for Star Sports. We know from a couple of people that have backed him anti-post from, you know, big bets all the way down, and I've seen a couple of the bets as well. So it's quite exciting for them, but obviously very nervy now, and we can have a look at why they keep backing this lad as well.
Yeah, this is why from trap 6 he comes away running, and he chops into that bend already there, and he's probably in the lane 3, lane 4 going around the first bend. So if he traps on terms, he's going to be diving in left. And this was a real good performance, beating one Slick Jamie, who we sadly lost there in the quarterfinal, the last race. But yeah, he's a very fast dog. He's 12-1. Looks a big price, but I spoke to Keith earlier. I said, if there were 2 dogs in this comp that you wouldn't want drawn directly inside you, it'd be Churchfield Sid and Bocco's Diamond. They cheered when they got 6 in the draw.
Yeah.
They booed when they seen Bocco's Diamond come out in 5.
Right, let's go to Jason.
Thanks, Danny. I'm very pleased to say I'm with Plunkett Matthews, bubbly charge out in the last of the quarterfinals.
Yeah, listen, very excited. Hopefully the dog runs well. Shout out to everybody at home, Brenton's at home and at the kennel along with the lads. So listen, fingers crossed, dog runs well for us and the Bubbly Syndicate.
And I was talking to Steve earlier on, and I know said in the week, from a qualifying perspective, obviously you'd like to win, but qualifying, good draw.
Yeah, it's all about qualifying. Listen, he's in drawn in trap 1. He was in 2 in the Kirby semi-final. He broke out and he beat Sol Mio in the semi-final of the Kirby. He's had to qualify for the semi-final. Listen, he's a good dog, and fingers crossed everything goes well tonight. You know, obviously the favourite, Bocco's Diamond, is the one to beat, but fingers crossed getting the first 3.
Say it every time, you're such great supporters of Toaster. Thanks for coming over and best of luck.
Thanks very much, Dan. Thank you.
There's the fanfare, learnt my new word of the day, and they are coming out onto the track for our final race on quarter-final night here at Toaster Racecourse. It's the Star Sports and TRC English Greyhound Derby 4th quarter, and I can't wait to see what happens. We do, of course, have the Irish Derby champion in trap 5. He is 3 from 3 in the competition, but we've got 2 in this race who are unbeaten. The other being Droopy's Trade, who's 5 from 6 over here, and he is a puppy as well, July 23. Droopy's Sydney and Droopy's Alice Pupster.
I've had Ian Fortune on.
Go on.
Behave, Bocco's Masterclass incoming. So that means they're watching it in Shelbourne Park, which is brilliant.
Yes. Hello, everyone in Shelbourne. Hope you're having a wonderful evening watching both them and us.
Hello.
Trap 5. There's trap 1. Bubbly Charger. Bronze in the Kirby. Won well when cracking out in the last 2 rounds and shaved 25 spots off his time as well, which is quite remarkable. 2 Droopy's Plunge. is a shy boy, and he's out in the middle. Reached 2 Cat 1 semis, and he did well to qualify last week after trouble. Droopy's Trade ran a stormer in the second round off a 4:01 split. He's learning all the time, and he's only beaten one so far. That was in the gym crack. Keyfield Maverick, very impressive to the eye on the second round, and ran well when crowded last week behind Droopy's Aladdin, beaten only a length. And he's had his goodbye and good luck hugs from the kids as well, so he'll run a cracker. Bocco's Diamond, fastest dog on the planet. Well, superb run the last 2 weeks, and it was a brilliant buckle as we saw in the VT last time. Look at him, focused, laser focused. Trap 6 Slick Sentinel, loads of speed early, just held on in the first round, got back to winning ways last week, and like I said, Star Sports' biggest loser in the book. Right, let's have a look at Bubbly Charger in action. This was Heat 2 from last week. From box 4, he bolted out.
Yeah, we heard from Steve earlier saying about the trap draw. There was a little bit of talk about it this week, and you know, we spoke to Damien last week and he wanted to be in 3 or 4. It was impossible to be in 4 because of the lack of railers. So he managed to get trap 1 Bubbly Charger, and he's shown here just how good he is. Bombay Payne behind him, giving chase, and you will hear it, Danny, if he goes round in front here, because this place will take off with Bubbly Charger, the Champagne Club Syndicate. Cracking performance, he's in 1, he'll move off, Plunge will move in. He's got to come away and clear Droopy's Trade.
I can't wait for this. I'm just hoping that we have that clean first bend, because it's one of those things you always have the fear because of the way Greyhound racing is and the way they charge up into that first bend. And I'm just hoping that nobody moves off or in too dramatically, that we get a clean run up into that first corner. I mean, this is Greyhound racing at its best. Look at that view. Beautiful lights, loads of people in the grandstand, getting ready with the champions that are about to go and race. I can't wait. I just love
last
this
year's
sport.
reigning champion still in the last 12.
I can't
Can we
believe
get the Irish Derby champion there? Can we get him into the semis? Can we get him into the final? The story writes itself, doesn't it? English and Irish Derby.
Some nervous bubblies watching up pretty much next to us,
Yeah,
actually.
they are, yeah.
So that was Steve that we had on the show earlier on. Bubbly, he's up for it. That's what I will say. He's bouncy here at Toaster, and we've got 1 minute to post time for the final quarter-final of the Greyhound Derby of 2025. So they're just about to go behind the boxes. 4 to 6, Bocco's Diamond here. You're on the Mav.
Yeah, and good luck to all again here. The last one has been a cracking nice action. Keyfield Maverick 25 to 1. That 50 points in the GWA will do nicely if he goes round in front. But all the very best to all 6, mate. You'll come off safe and sound. Let's go to Darryl, shall we?
Yes.
Well, here we are. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Danny. The last quarter-final Star Sports TRC English Derby 2025. 2 unbeaten records, of course, on the line. Bocco's Diamond and Droopy's Trade. There's been a plunge dog in the race as well. Who else? Droopy's Plunge. 14s earlier in the day. 6 to 1, less than half the price. But as you heard, will he move left? Will Bubbly Charger move right? There is so much early pace. Getting a lead cannot be guaranteed, but we saw what Bocco's did when he didn't quite lead in the first few strides last week. Will he need to do the same? Here's the hare. Good luck to them all. Last quarter-final. Raceaways missed it. Bocco's Diamond. Slick Sentinel's gone away. Bocco's Diamond, they'll move to second. Keyfield Maverick trying to get a run. Just got squeezed out, and behind Droopy's Trade checking up. They go down the back. Slick Sentinel, but now Bocco's Diamond's got a run. And now he's got clean side of their hair as they run down the far side. And Bocco's Diamond is about to go on by 2 lengths. Slick Sentinel trying to renew a challenge. Back in third, staying on his Droopy's Plunge. Then comes in fourth place Keyfield Maverick. They're down the lane. Bocco's Diamond by a length. They're queuing up to challenge. Slick Sentinel wears him down. And on the far side, Droopy's Plunge came late as well. Slick Sentinel, Droopy's Plunge, Bocco's Diamond. They're the qualifiers, but in which order?
Officially, but it looked like Slick Sentinel.
What a finish. What a finish. 5, 6 and 2. Bocco's Diamond, Slick Sentinel, Droopy's Plunge. I think Bocco's Diamond has come third. For me, it would be a 6-2-5. But that's just my very, very first impression.
Without going, have we ever had a better night's racing?
Probably
than
not.
what we've seen tonight and the finishes?
No, probably not. I think this is going to be Slick Sentinel coming back, nailing 2 Droopy's Plunge, who's run an absolute burster, and then Bocco's Diamond in third. I think that's what it's going to be, but we've not had it confirmed yet. We'll hear the tannoy shortly, I'm sure. What a superb.
What we do know is Patrick has got 2 through.
Yes, here we go. Results coming through.
12, he's first. Trap 6.
Trap 6, Slick Sentinel.
Superb.
first.
What a run.
Second, trap 2, Droopy's Plunge. Third, trap 5, Bucko's Diamond.
To lead, to be passed,
Yeah.
to be 2 lengths behind, to come back and catch him in 28.87. Oh my God. Let's get to Emily, because Emily, this has just been an unbelievable night, and you're with an unbelievable greyhound and trainer.
Definitely, Joe. Thank you. Patrick, we'll have a walk and talk, but great performance. You obviously had 3 in the race, so it's quite a lot to sort of watch, but you definitely would have taken 2 going through.
Yeah, I would, you know what I mean? So this dog trapped absolutely brilliant, you know what I mean? And he led, and then he got done so far by Bucko's Diamond for middle pace, but he come back at him again. As you can see, this dog is getting stronger with each run, really, so while the derby goes along. And yeah, but in the semi-finals, and you know, I thought Droopy's Plunge on a monster of a race, so yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Definitely, it was a close finish. It took a while to call, but it was between your 2, so a very good result for you, and a very brave run from Droopy's Plunge as well. We said it last night, he just seems to be getting braver as he sort of has more runs.
Yeah, he does, you know what I mean, and he's honestly, we had a lot of issues with him in the beginning, not injury-wise or nothing, just with this mentality sort of thing, but what Cheryl and Rhea done with him, you know what I mean, that's why he's here, you know what I mean. Before, if there was a crowd like this, he wouldn't have performed, and he's getting better with every run as well. So, yeah, very pleased with both of them.
I can imagine so. I'll let you get off to the podium, but well done, Patrick.
Thank you, thank you.
Wow, what a race. I mean, this is Sentinel at his very best out the boxes. He loves trap 6 here at Toaster. He's run a burster into the first bend. You can see Bucko's Diamond. They have a slight coming together down the far side, and he does a lot of work to get past in Bucko's Diamond. And at this point, you'd be forgiven for thinking, all over.
The pace this dog's got from the second to the third bend, Bucko's Diamond, is frightening. Droopy's Plunge in a great position there, and you know he keeps getting through. You know he keeps getting through. That just take him away. Cheryl takes him away from all the crowd. He just goes about his business, stays on really well. A short head. Just what an unbelievable race, and we're going to see there. Now that section will be interesting, Danny, to see what Slick Sentinel's doing, because he has flew out again.
Yeah.
Bucko's Diamond's gone with him there. The pace of Bucko's Diamond, to go outside him and showed his pace from the second bend to the third bend, whether these runs to the drop are just maybe catching him out, you know, it's a big run to the drop every week, but he's still the one to beat, because if he breaks level, you're not leading him.
Yeah.
So it's all on what he does out of the boxes, but that's an unbelievable race. Slick Sentinel, cracking.
And just seeing, you know, Diamond's having to put so much in from difficult starts that he might just be running out of gas coming home. That might just be it, because he's having to put so much. That's it. That's all he needs. And he may be. Well,
they'll take that again next week.
100%.
Because then they've got a week then to go, let's get him out of the boxes.
Yeah.
He's with an absolute genius in training. So that's all it takes. But delighted there for Keith, Haley and all the guys, Patrick. Just a cracking run. A brilliant greyhound who just loves this place.
He does. And like we say, Star Sports will be shaking in the boots because he's through. And he's not only through, he has dominated there. Jason.
Wow, what a performance by Slick Sentinel. Look at this happy young lady. Wave again, wave again. That's what it's all about. There we go. Keith, oh my word.
What to say about him? Well, you run the Irish Derby champion down as a truly fantastic dog. This dog's led him, got led by him, come back at him. What more can you say?
I remember talking to you at Nottingham quite a while ago, and you told me the Derby for Slick Sentinel. You were right.
Well, we're right up to now. We've still got another round to do. So I'd have took third tonight, to be honest with you, Errol. But he's getting fitter. Patrick's brought him along, absolutely fantastic. We've kept him off. He's brought him along slowly and surely, and we just took third tonight. He's won on merit. Thank you very much. Forget the time. The dog's in the semi-finals. What will be, will be. Thanks to Patrick and his team. Perfect.
Keith, I even during the Thorn Falcon run, I don't know, there's something different about you tonight, and seeing you after that video with everybody, with everybody run, the emotion really got you.
Well, because it was such an odd ease. I ain't being funny. Any one of them dogs could have won that tonight. It's just that this dog can break, and when he gets it right, he's a different dog, and that's what it's all about.
Except I've got to have a quick word with Pat. Pat, we kind of joked beforehand to get 2 through and the winner, not so shabby.
No, these are amazing dogs. Like I said from the beginning, you know, these are, you know, listen, we're only in the semi-finals at the end of the day, but they're class, aren't they, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Bocco's Diamond is a fantastic greyhound. I would never knock that dog, do you know what I mean? But listen, this dog, when he flew out and he got done for a bit of pace down the back, but then he come back at him, you can see he's getting fitter, and so is Droopy Splunch, you know what I mean, on a hell of a race. So, yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant to see. Thanks to you both, and what a performance by you.
Thank you, Darryl.
Well, there it is. We're taking it all in one. What a finish to the last quarter-final. Slick Sentinel getting back up, and what a price as well at 14-1 for Pat Janssens, and Keith Alsop beats Droopy's Plunger, was absolutely powering home for Patrick. What a forecast for those who follow Patrick's Greyhound, 6-1. But the important thing for Bocco's Diamond fans is he is still there. The 8-13 favourite, he's been touched off tonight, but he will return with 11 rivals next week. And we've got, you know, the perfect symmetry, haven't we, going into those semi-finals next week, because we have 6 British dogs, we have 6 Irish dogs, we have 6 railers, we have 6 wide runners. Graham Holland's got 3, Pat Janssens got 2, everybody else has got 1. And remember, you only need 1, Danny and Joe, to win it. But the perfect symmetry with Britain against Ireland.
Well, the fairy tale is still continuing for 12 greyhounds.
You're supporting Ireland, aren't you?
I'm supporting Ireland. I'm in green tonight. I actually didn't think about this. I just went, ladies' night, I'm going to wear sequins. And Joe wore his pink. So
for ladies' night,
we both got the memo. But yeah, cannot wait. The draw is just getting finalised. We can see actually past the camera here where they're just getting all of the little things that you have to stick on the board. Billy's going to be running around. Right, I'll tell you what, should we just confirm all of tonight's winners? Because right from the start, we've had Race Night Mikey, Ballymac Odin, Zenith Quincy and Flashing Fender, who won the first 4 heats of the GreyhoundTrader.com stakes. The fastest time of those was Zenith Quincy, actually losing the maiden tag, 28.82. It was good from him. Then we had the 4 heats of the Derby Plate. Hopes, Oompa Loompa, Lenny's Desire, Baltasha Delic and Scooby the Boss, and a little dog called Lenny's Desire. And I say little because he's only 31 kilos. Broke the track record, Joe.
Yeah, 28.39, 5 spots off Barnett Bears track record. Fantastic run.
Superb from box 6. And then we had the quarterfinals. Cheap Sandwiches, time 28.67. Delardi Da, time 28.81. Dynamic Force did the quickest, 28.66. Slick Sentinel, 28.87. Right, Joe, what was your highlight of the night?
That race there, 14-1 winner, biggest prize winner in the Derby so far. Bocco, Slick Sentinel, and just an unbelievable race. He had to do that. You can see straight away, Dan, even without the head on, that he's gone straight left from the boxes. Bocco's Diamond's paced up on the outside, and the pace he shows here, Bocco's Diamond, from 2 to 3 is just absolutely sensational. Droopy's Plunge always in a good position there to qualify. He was in a good position maybe to win the race, and just comes back to the field. Bocco's Diamond, there was cheers and roars from all connections when they've all hit the front at different times, but a great performance for Bocco's Diamond, unbelievable from Slick Sentinel, and Droopy's Plunge flying home as well to stay on and qualify. 2 for Patrick, 1 for Graham.
And mine was Delardi Da, because I am thrilled to see the English Derby champion from last year through in such good style as well. I mean, he's been led up by Churchfield Sid, who's done a 394 split. He himself did a 404, Delardi Da, and he's managed to just come past him in the final strides to nail Churchfield Sid on the line. And honestly, the third home here for me, No Better Feeling, was another highlight, because Esther Driver, I saw her running across to make sure that she got her hugs in with the team and with No Better Feeling as well. And he's just managed to get up on the line, Delardi Da. That's him at his very, very best. It's what we saw last year. Churchfield Sid out the boxes last year in the Derby final. Delardi Da up next to him.
Got to him a little bit closer in the final last year, didn't he? Won comfortably, but yeah, he's 4 years old again tomorrow. Churchfield Sid goes into veteran stage. I know connections were and ahhing whether to put him in.
Yeah, they were.
They'll be glad they did.
I mean, he runs toaster so well, Churchfield Sid, you know, and it would be a cracking story if he makes the final for a start, and also, you know, if he managed to take it.
Oh, unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Right, we've got a Brucey bonus for you, because 1, we've got Jonathan Hobbs, and 2, we've got the semi-final draw.
Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Danny, and welcome to the Empress Restaurant here at Toaster, where the draw is just about to take place for the semi-finals of the Star Sports TRC English Greyhound Derby. We have had a quite sensational nights racing, a track record, and then those 4 amazing quarterfinals, with that last quarterfinal, a short head and a short head. So 6 railers into the drum, 6 wide runners into the drum, and making the draw will be head of Star Sports' Greyhound Racing Operation, Kim Zanzoni, and Duncan Gibson from the Greyhound Board of Great Britain overseeing the draw as well, the senior supplementary steward. Duncan, explain what's going to happen.
Right, very simple, this one. There are 6 railers and 6 wides, so we will allocate the rails first. So the first rails dog out will get trap 1 in the first semi-final. The second dog out from the rails will go trap 1 in the second semi-final, and so on until we used all 6. We'll then move to the wide runners, and exactly the same again. The first one out will get trap 6 in the first semi-final. The second wide dog out will get trap 6 in the second semi-final, and it'll be 6-5-4, 6-5-4, and then that'll be the draw.
And of course, those semi-finals are next Saturday with the final. £175,000 the winner in Canine Immortality on Saturday, June the 14th. So the 12 names of those semi-finalists into the drum. 6 first, of course. And the first out of the drum, which is given a spin by Kim. Good luck to all the connections in the house as well. And well done for those in the semis. Dig deep, Kim.
Sol Mio will get trap 1 in the first semi-final.
Solomeo goes into trap 1 in the first semi-final next Saturday. Next out of the hat.
Next out is No Better Feeling. No Better Feeling will be trap 1 in the second semi-final.
Solomeo, of course, for Peter Cronin, another English Derby semi-finalist for him. No Better Feeling for Esther Driver. And the story that is Paul Salis.
Dilar-di-Dar will be in trap 2 in the first semi-final. The trap 2, Dilar-di-Dar.
As a railer, the reigning champion for Liam Dowling and the Garston Syndicate goes in trap 2 in the first semi-final.
Prince Nassim will be in trap 2 in the second semi-final. So Prince Nassim, trap 2, second semi-final.
On a run from Maxine Locke's Greyhound in trap 2, then in the second semi-final, Prince Nassim with No Better Feeling.
Droopy's Bookham will be in trap 3 in the first semi-final.
Pride of the North East running out of trap 3. Droopy's Bookham for Mike Young, Ben Collins, Tom Hilburn. One more railer to come. Dig deep, Kim.
All right, so Droopy's Plunge is in trap 3 in the second semi-final.
Of course, featured in that amazing last quarter-final. Short head second at the paws of kennel mate Slick Sentinel, with Bocco's Diamond just behind them in third. So the railers are done and dusted. The first semi-final, trap 1, Solomeo. Dilar-di-Dar in 2, Droopy's Bookham in 3. The second semi-final, No Better Feeling, Prince Nassim and Droopy's Plunge. The first of the railers then going out of trap 6 in the first semi-final. Spin of the drum.
Right, Churchfield Sid. So Churchfield Sid will be in trap 6 in the first semi-final.
Another fantastic story of this year's Derby, a finalist last year, back again in the semi-finals. So Richard Rees, Darryl Bear and the Evans family.
Right, Bocco's Diamond will be in trap 6 in the second semi-final. So Bocco's Diamond, trap 6, semi-final 2.
Antipode's favourite, of course, beaten tonight, but still in the semi-finals. He gets trap 6 and some happy connections behind.
Right, next one out is Bombay Pat. So Bombay Pat will be in trap 5 in the first semi-final.
First semi-final, Bombay Pat goes into trap 5 for Graham Holland, of course, the trainer of Bocco's Diamond as well.
Right, Cheap Sandwiches is in trap 5 in the second semi-final. So Cheap Sandwiches, trap 5, second semi-final.
They go again against each other. First and second in last year's Boyle Sports Irish Greyhound Derby final. Bocco's Diamond and Cheap Sandwiches rematch on again.
Right, Slick Sentinel will be in trap 4 in the first semi-final. So Slick Sentinel, trap 4, first semi-final.
Patrick Janssens and Keith Alsop gets trap 4 in that first semi-final.
And the last one, Dynamic Force, will be in trap 4 in the second semi-final. The Dynamic Force, trap 4, second semi-final.
Second semi-final then of the Derby. Dynamic Force for Ian and Brendan and Paul Hennessy running out of trap 4. So the first semi-final of the Star Sports TRC English Greyhound Derby. Solomeo, Delardi-Dar, Droopy's Bookham, all railers. The first of the wide runners, Slick Sentinel in 4, Bombay Pat 5, Churchill Sid in 6. The second semi-final, No Better Feeling in 1, Prince Asim 2, Droopy's Plunge in 3, the 3 railers. Followed by the 3 wides, Dynamic Force in 4, Cheap Sandwiches in 5, Bocco's Diamond in trap 6. Back to you guys for some reaction.
Cheers, Hobbsy. Well,
just been to watch it, haven't we, Danny? Watched it live. And...
I mean, Delardi-Dar in 2. Yeah, fine. I'm happy with that, to be fair. Slick Sentinel in 4. Not sure. But Cheap Sandwiches and Bocco's Diamond is the story.
The other way around.
Again.
With Dynamic Force in 4, who kept Churchfield Sid out.
Yeah.
In the 3rd round. But yeah, this is just.
Wow.
You know, try and split down. They were happy. The Bocco's Diamond guys are in 6. I'm not sure they'll be too happy now with Cheap Sandwiches in 5. We've seen him come away from 5, Danny, and moves to lane 6.
Out.
You know, they were drawn the best last week in 6 and 5 with Sandwiches in 6, Diamond in 5. I'm not too sure. The only thing is that there wouldn't be too much blessed early pace inside, especially the inside 3. Dynamic Force can go up. Prince Asim, they'll be happy with that draw in between No Better Feeling, Droopy's Punch. No Better Feeling will be delighted.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Droopy's Punch will be moving in, but he's going to be staying on and can qualify. Then you look at semi-final 1, Solomeo moving off from trap 1. Droopy's Bookham, a bad draw in 3 outside the Delardi-Dar. Solomeo, if he was in 1 there, you'd say he's got a great chance of qualifying.
Yeah.
That's a tough draw, but let's go and hear from Hobbs. He's going to get some interviews with connections.
You stick around for a sec, is that right? Yeah, cheers, well done. I'll see you next.
Hobbsy.
Getting some initial reaction from Keith Alsop, of course. Happy tonight. Slick Sentinel was absolutely brilliant. Probably disappointed with the draw. First reaction?
Well, it is what it is. We're in the semi-finals. You take what you take. He's run brilliant tonight. We couldn't ask any more from him. Like I say, he's in the semi-final. He's got trap 4. Wouldn't say it was the best draw for him, but the 3 maybe go left. So it is what it is. We're in the semi-finals. I can't ask any more of him. Whatever he's done in his life, every competition he's been in, he's made the final. So what more can I ask for, Jonathan?
He was absolutely sensational tonight. What a race. He featured in a brilliant race. Jack's going to follow me. Thank you, Keith. Ben Collins, just an initial reaction, part owner of Droopy's Bookham. According to Pride of the North East, this is not a North East accent we're just going to get, but that was brilliant tonight, wasn't it? Great to be part of this.
Oh, yeah, he's been tipped up all week, so I was scared crapless about him failing. But no, he's run his race, he's turned inside. Clear run, he might even get to Cheap Sandwiches, to be honest. But yeah, that draw in trap 3, there's a lot of early pace in the race. Just sit back, get on the rails, run your race. That's it.
Enjoy the week.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll keep going. Ryan Keneally, Barking Mad Betting. Barking Mad Betting, Ryan Keneally, just a quick reaction to the draw. Initial thoughts?
What a race. It's interesting now who they're going to make favourite, Sandwiches or Bocco's Diamond. I think Cheap Sandwiches is now the new favourite for the English Derby.
Cheap Sandwiches, the new favourite for the English Derby. Ryan Keneally, follow him, subscribe to Barking Mad Betting. Paul Lawrence, great work tonight. Sorry, Gavin Mahoney, be delighted. Quick word with Gavin. Maxine in the semi-finals, good for the kennel.
Thrilled for the kennel, yeah, thrilled for the owners. So, yeah, hopefully it's a nice draw, actually. Funnily enough, I'm delighted with the draw as well, even though up against the top dogs on the outside, but it's brilliant. Brilliant.
Have a good week.
Thanks very much. Oh, we love it. We love it. Yeah, brilliant, yeah.
Thanks to Gavin. Yeah, thank you. Paul Lawrence, commentating tonight here at Toaster. You had the best view in the house. I mean, reaction to tonight's racing and then maybe on the draw.
I think I was really taken with a piece of form from last week, which was the Dynamic Force Solomeo Churchfield Sid form. They kind of came together. They wanted the same ground somewhat, and they've all run really, really well tonight. Dynamic Forces, I've got a bit of a soft spot because we actually had the brother, the Pompey Ventures Syndicate had a brother called Portsmouth Pedro, just talking to the girl that owns him. And yeah, he's just coming forward at the right time. And, you know, again, we've got Paul Hennessy, we've got all the Irish trainers. Liam Dowling, I spoke to him as well last week. He's got a nightmare draw, mind you, but he was a big eye catcher, wasn't he? Deladi Dar. Graham Holland's got his three fancy.
They're up against each other again. Sandwiches in 5, Diamond in
6, yeah, and probably drawn differently as well. I think they were okay drawn the other way around, so that's going to be something. But maybe Bucco's Diamond. I get the impression, Jonathan, that Graham Holland thinks that Bucco's Diamond is a better dog out of trap 6. I think he's a more consistent breaker out of trap 6, and that might just be the key to fetching him out, because you see he had to work really hard tonight to actually get to the front. He's not quite coming home. He's finding the 500 metres at Toaster really testing, and you can't say it was testing when you got a track record run tonight from again Paul Hennessy. As I say, Paul's dogs are running really well. So we've got a big Irish challenge. It's great to see that the Droopy's Bookham dog and give Ben the ride as well with Tom. So yeah, it's great. It's really good. I think tonight I was really impressed with Solomio, the way he tried really hard. I don't think he wants trap 1. I'm hoping he won't move off too much. I think he's a dog. When he's got a dog on his outside and there's not a space, he'll stay a bit straighter. When he's got clear daylight, he'll go violently off. But you need to stay in straight lines at this level. So it'll be interesting to see what Solomio does. He went in the first round from trap 1, but obviously he's in against faster dogs now. It's a great derby, a wonderful derby.
It is, you're absolutely right. I think you summed it up perfectly. And that first semi-final in particular, guys, I think is going to certainly have us all head-scratching in the next 7 days or so. But we're looking forward to the semi-finals of the English Greyhound Derby in, 7 days' time. And by this time next week, we'll know the Super 6 gunning for that 175 grand prize. And what do I call it? Canine immortality. That's it.
Oh, I can't wait. Cannot wait to be back here doing it all again next week. It's just 2 sensational races, 12 fantastic greyhounds, and I can't wait to just see who's going to battle it out next week. I mean...
And the balance, Danny. 6 railers, 6 wide, 6 UK, 6 Irish.
I know. We're going to get 3 railers, 3 wides in the final, do you reckon?
I'll be 6 of each, 6 wides.
6
More chance of 6 wides than 6 railers, I must say. But this derby just continues to amaze.
Wow.
Week after week, it gets better and better. And that racing tonight is up there with the very best racing you will see. And if people don't get attached to that, new people watching that don't get attached to that, we're in big trouble, because that is the very, very best that this sport can offer.
It is. Without doubt. I mean, you've summed it up perfectly, and we've got our show next week. The time will be confirmed, of course, later on in the week once we know all of the details. 4 o'clock for the preview show. We'll give you a little teaser of what we fancy and of the big clashes coming up in the later races. And, you know, Saturday the 7th of June, we are 1 step closer to knowing who is going to be engraved on that trophy.
Watch Epsom, get to Toaster.
Yes, do that. And if you can't get there, subscribe to the channel, and then you will not miss all of the action.
3,000 viewers we had at one time, didn't we? So thank you to everyone
Thank
who
you to everyone.
tuned in tonight.
Yeah, for supporting us, and of course Star Sports and Bet Goodwin, who without we could not bring you this show every week of the Derby. It has been an absolute pleasure to bring you the quarterfinals of the Greyhound Derby this year, and it is a good night from us.
channel.